The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Welcome to the Pat McAfee Show. I am, of course, not Pat McAfee.
Football!
Yes! See, I did a elongated break so you guys would do. I tried to like tape it. I tried to do it properly, but
You did good.
it was better than the previous times.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
I am Ian Rapoport. I am guesting for Pat today. I'm very, very, very happy to be here. Pat is, of course, not here. He is
Parts unknown.
Yeah.
Abroad.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
TBD.
Could be literally anywhere.
Yeah.
Last time I was doing this, it was doing some sort of WWE thing in a place overseas or something.
Maybe.
Drinking, I think, if I remember correctly.
What? I honestly have no idea.
Sounds about right. But he is not here today. I am here, as are my good friends, Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt.
Thank you.
Tone Diggs.
Hell yeah.
And my second favorite cornerback that I've ever covered in the NFL.
Oh.
Okay.
That's not true. My favorite.
Okay.
Darius Butler in the house as well.
Sweet.
It's actually-
Who was your first? Who was the first?
Oh, Devin McCourty.
Dull.
Yeah.
He went safety though.
So,
DB.
So I've jumped back up.
that's
Yeah.
true. When I was in the Patriots locker room as a beat writer, this is exactly why the people tuned in today. Devin McCourty was a corner who was getting toasted by Stevie Johnson,
Steve Largent.
Buffalo Bills. Sure, yeah.
right?
Oh.
Yeah.
And I remember having a really awkward conversation with him in the locker room, me not knowing anything, him being a literal NFL corner, saying, "Have you ever thought about moving to safety?" And he was really offended.
That's crazy.
And,
That's the worst thing you could say.
It was so, and I was, probably 28 or something, and wearing like an oversized plaid shirt, just looking ridiculous. And he was but he's such a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course he goes on to be a great safety, and I am the greatest football scout of all time.
Yeah, you put him on. You put that little nugget. He's a Pro Bowler as a rookie at corner too.
He was.
Sophomore struggles, but he was a dog.
All right. I'm very happy to be here, as I said. We had a great week of football, which I know you guys were locked in, as was I, mostly.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Spent some time on the phone talking about some various trade scenarios, the Trey Hendrickson thing we're going to get to.
Yeah.
There's a Micah Parsons thing we're going to get to.
Oh.
There's a Terry McLaurin thing we're going to get to. There may be some quarterback news. We'll see. I know we got the Colts situation, which, according to Shane Steichen's, kind of rounding to a close.
Okay.
Feels like. The Cleveland Browns situation is getting close to their Saints. We'll see. Usually, I'm on the other side of this.
Yeah.
Usually, you guys are like, Rap, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So I'm here. What do you want to know?
I mean, the latest in at least this spectacle, and I'll ask about it just because I feel as though the only real GM that's come out and said they'll trade a first-round pick now is Elliott Wolf. He's kind of the only guy, at least in New England, who's going out and
Saw that.
proclaiming, "Hey, we'll trade a first."
Is that for Trey
round
Henderson
pick.
or is it for someone?
Well, I mean, you're asking me. I'm not. I'm asking Rap. I have no idea. I'm assuming everybody's kind of on the table. But is this even real? Like, is this a realistic? Hey, we're gonna trade a first round pick. Is he saying that because he wants all the other teams to kind of go away, and so he can kind of slide in, or is this a reality where? Not including Micah, because I think everybody assumes if he does get traded that there will be a first and a second.
Yeah.
With Terry McLaurin and Trey Hendrickson, is there a real possibility that those guys are getting moved for first and second round picks and players?
Yeah, so first of all, for Micah, it's going to be, if there is even a trade to talk about, which we'll see, we'll get to that. but it would be a lot, okay? The Terry McLaurin would be not as much. The Trey Hendrickson would be, from my understanding, a really good young player.
Okay.
Like, we're talking like a starter, someone you don't have to pay right away. Like,
It's like second-year-ish player, probably?
yeah, like someone's first or second rounder from last year who's really good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then a pick for next year. Like, it would be for sure expensive. The Patriots have a young quarterback who I think is going to be really, really good. This is the window. Like, you see teams load up. So normally I'd kind of be like, teams open to everything. I don't know, man. Like, Patriots seem open for business. They seem to recognize that this is their window to do kind of what the Texans did, right? Which is like, just we'll trade for Stephon Diggs and we'll pay because we will load up and we don't have to pay the quarterback yet.
But the Commanders, who are kind of in the exact same situation, just a much better team already. Like, why has it got to this point where, because they went out and they did what you just said. They got Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel and all these other
Laramie
guys.
Tunsil trade was that was a great example.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like, why was this on the horizon for a long time? Like, why wouldn't the Commanders, to your point, go all in while they have all these things like a rookie quarterback and, momentum kind of like, why is this happening?
I mean, they're trying to, but it's really just a disagreement of value. So Terry McLaurin wants like $33 million like DK Metcalf, okay? He's a little older, but same class, similar production, different type of receivers, which actually, all right, D-Butt, since you're a resident expert. Do you think, as someone who may or may not have had to cover people just like this, do you think that they are similar threats / I don't know about value, but similar threats? Like, do you think they should be guys who should make the same amount of money?
Yes, I would say similar value. I understand the age difference. Where Terry is, though, he hasn't missed a game, I believe, in like 5 years.
Crazy.
So, being out there, we always say your best ability is availability in the National Football League, especially when you have a young quarterback. And early in the season, Terry wasn't getting a bunch of targets and didn't become a problem or a loud voice or a quote-unquote diva like a lot of wide receiver ones do in the locker room. So he kind of stayed the course, was patient, let them go out and do the other things, let them pay it. But as far as threat-wise, DK is more of a big play threat. Like, any play can be a 60, 70-yard touchdown, but consistently week in and week out, Terry McLaurin, he's going to show up. And he's going to make those big-time plays, and he is one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League at, like, the point of attack, like that moment of truth when the ball is in the air. He's always been that guy. So him being around that DK number, it makes sense. It makes sense to me, not only who he is on the football field, but in the locker room, in the community, everything you want, for a leader of your team.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the argument. Right, it's like they have tried. The Commanders are not there yet. They want to pay him. I just don't know. Like, my guess, this is just a guess.
What do they want to pay him? How much? What have they got?
So my sense is it's around or a little under 30. So like, if McLaurin wants 33 and the Commanders want to pay him a little less, let's just call it not a real number, but let's call it 28 and a half. Like, there's a deal to be made somewhere.
That's what T's making. That's what T. Higgins is making.
Right. Okay. So then, like, let's say it's 29 above T.
Yeah.
That seems like a good deal.
Amon-Ra's at 30.
Right. And if I'm Terry McLaurin,
Signed that deal 2 years ago?
Yeah, the Amon-Ra they did before the Lions draft.
right.
Yeah,
but then if you're
correct.
Terry's agent, you're like, well, hang on, that's 2 years. That's 2 years after.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Brandon Ayuk was last year. That was at 30. So like, they both have arguments, but I think they are trying to do it. And I think they're also in that all-in mode because they got the lottery ticket too.
Yeah. So the Commanders, you're saying, are more so like, of the three, Micah, Terry, and Trey, like the Commanders and Terry are probably the closest of those three to actually getting a contract done, because we've literally been talking about these three guys for 5 months.
And I love them so much because it gets us through so many shows. And then when they get done, it's sort of like James Cook we talked about, and they get done, it's sort of like, okay.
Here we go. Let's go play ball.
Yeah, go.
But with like Hendrickson, like why now? Did they just assume that even after like he wasn't there, that he was just going to play ball and be okay with everything? Like, why have they waited until the 25th hour to finally be like, okay, we'll trade this guy now. I mean, I guess, maybe teams get more desperate and they're willing to give up a little bit more right before the season starts. But, this has been the exact same situation since he was on our show at Radio Row. This hasn't changed at all. So why is it all of a sudden now I guess he is serious and he really is unhappy and he's not going to play if we don't get him a new deal?
I mean, I think the reason is because somebody needs something to happen. It's August 18th. The season is 2 weeks away. I don't have any answers about
deadline spur action.
Right. Someone on Twitter said, yes. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the action is, though. And I think that's the problem is one side needs to bend. If another team comes in and says hey, we're going to offer you a good player and a big contract and a pick next year, maybe the Bengals go, all right, if we can weaken our team on the edge, but strengthen our team at guard, I don't know, whatever it is, tight end, who knows, whatever it is.
Whatever.
Maybe that makes sense. But I think the problem for the Bengals is they are good. And if you're good, why do you trade a good player? Same thing with the Commanders.
Well, then why not pay the good player?
Yes, that is the question. I think the frustrating thing is this doesn't seem to me to be a deal that should be impossible.
Right.
The trade or the contract?
The contract.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to get a big raise this year. How much guaranteed next year and the year after is kind of what the question is. Mm-hmm. And because TJ's deal is so good and Myles Garrett's deal is so good. Crosby. It's doesn't he deserve that? Of course, the answer is yes. But then where?
So is their asking price, though, ridiculous to the point that teams aren't even going to reach out just because it's?
I don't think so. We've done this before. With Clowney got done at the cut down day, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's been a couple.
Bosa was week of their first game.
TJ was week of.
Yeah,
I think
the contract, not the trade.
The contract.
Oh, right,
sorry,
right. Yeah. Trade. Yeah, I was thinking trade, but yes.
No, trade.
I mean, there is time, and generally, that last week of the season when all I want to do is be at my beach club, hanging out, sunning myself.
Sure.
These are generally the things that we will be dealing with. We got a lot more to get to.
Yeah,
we got a lot more football stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We have someone on the line right now who has been ducking me on the golf course for, I would say, more than a year.
Wow.
Ooh.
More than a year. We play at similar places. I go to Connecticut sometimes to play with a good buddy of mine, to lose to my buddies Russ and Brent.
Sure.
Very annoying. Orlovsky sometimes plays at a similar course and has been refusing to play with me.
Interesting.
Anyway, I just said his name. Dan Orlovsky is here joining us. Dan, why are you ducking me?
He doesn't want to play from the red.
I don't think you've ever invited me to play golf with you.
Not true. That's not true.
I would 1,000% take you up on it. And 3, I would feel very confident in playing against you.
Wow. Why did he have to say that last part? Why?
I'm a yes.
Why did he say that last part?
Well, he's just, he's an athlete. He's a professional athlete.
I mean, you two just can't stand next to each other on the tee box. Let's just get that straight.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
The thing about guys like Dan is you watch him
first.
So offensive.
We'll drive back to your box.
No, I was going to say, you'll have to, and then you'll have to drive 75 yards up to the red tee so he can tee off.
I can hit it a little bit. I don't know where it's going, but I can hit it a little bit.
We fixed your swing that one day.
My God. Orlovsky, what's going on? Thank you for hanging with us.
What's going on?
You watched a slate of preseason games. You watched a lot of interesting quarterback situations. We have all been kind of thinking about this in our brain over the last little bit. What stood out to you first and foremost? What did you learn about quarterback play this weekend from, I think, let's start with one of the young guys who stood out for you.
Yeah, I'll go back to last night, and the standout is coaching. Just, it matters so much. It's, and I'm not going to make the, oh my gosh, Caleb Williams is going to go win MVP thing, but if we're just taking off of what last night was, he's good enough to one day. If we're just taking last night off what it was, he was flawless when it comes to what you wanted to see. No one wanted to say, man, I don't know if Caleb's is athletic enough to go run around and make plays in the league, but it was holds the ball too long, doesn't really get the ball out on time, is constantly, hitching in the pocket, not seeing it and trusting it and letting it go. That wasn't the case last night. And there was a confidence, there was a conviction, I looked at it and I said he threw the ball 10 times. 2 of the throws were throwaways. One of them was a bootleg. So for the 7 throws that he threw within the pocket, 6 of them were either on his first hitch or no hitch at all.
Wow.
That tells me he's seeing it. That tells me he's confident. That tells me he knows what he's doing with the football. And is there a reality of like, yes, that number 1 option was open often? For sure. But that's not his fault. So then the coaching, you sit there and go, man, that was good. The one time when he got to his second hitch, he got to the second part of the progression. So overwhelmingly hopeful and confident, impressed by what I saw last night from Caleb. And just that coaching matters. Is there Buffalo's playing as basic coverage as they can play? Yeah. Reality to that? Yes. I mean, that was the most basic coverage he will see all season, but he did his job. And so the takeaway is, man, that coaching just matters, and tip of the hat to them, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm still sitting there saying it's going to take a long period of time for the ownership and the mastering of it. Going to Cleveland, I was really impressed with what Shador did last week. Mm-hmm. I was equally, if not more, impressed with what Dylan Gabriel did this weekend. I thought Gabriel was awesome. Yeah, I thought his tape was great. He made some really tight coverage, elite ball placement throws. I thought he moved in the pocket really well. They went under center, something he didn't do a ton at Oregon. I don't think the interception's all on him. Yes, he, at the end of the day, makes the final decision, but there's a lot that goes into that ball being picked off, let alone a pick 6. Mm-hmm. The fumble I do put on him, but just some tight coverage throws that you're sitting there going, man, that's really, really, really good ball placement versus coverage that's pretty good. So I thought he was really interesting. I think it makes the decision-making even more interesting in Cleveland. And I think it's going to be, by all reports, Joe as the starter.
That's what it feels like.
Who do they name as QB2? Like, who's going to be QB2 then?
Yeah.
I'll go to Indy. I was really impressed with Anthony, and I can't quit Anthony Richardson for some reason, man. I just
we're believers, man.
Yeah,
believe ours.
Yeah, that's right.
We're believers.
Believe ours. Just physically, he looked really good and played fast, and the ball went to the right place often. So, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's hard for me to not name him the starting quarterback if I'm Shane Steichen.
Wow.
That was going to be my follow-up for you, Dan. Out here in Indy, obviously that's the biggest thing. We made a sign with Xavier Howard, but the quarterback, naming QB1 is the hugest thing we're going into this season. What did you see preseason from both of these guys that will make an argument for either one to be QB1? I know you say you don't want to quit, AR. We believe ours for sure.
I believe ours.
But where are you at? What you need to see from either one of these guys to be named a starter?
I go back to week 1, okay? So against Baltimore, I thought Daniel was sharp. I thought Daniel got the ball because, like D-Butt, they got really talented guys, right? On offense, there's 3 or 4 guys Downs is really good, and A.D. Mitchell is really good, and Pittman's obviously a really big-time player, and then they got Mo Alley Cox, and then Warren looks and you're like, just get him the ball. I thought Daniel did that in week 1 versus Baltimore relatively sharply, and then Anthony had the moment of the fumble, and you're like, God bless, dude, just figure it to freak out.
Yep.
And you get that small body of work. And then this past weekend, I watched Daniel, first quarter 8:28, misses a touchdown. First quarter 4:03, misses a touchdown. I thought the ball down the sideline, first quarter 2:08 to Warren, nice throw. And so, this ball, nice throw. Guy's wide open, but nice throw, okay? And then Anthony, I go, good out, good keeper, really good sail, really nice clean stop, played fast. 40 yards, a 40-yard throw, the elite throw with 1:11 in the second quarter. So I thought Anthony was really impressive this past week, and I think D-Bud, I settle on this, and I don't know the building well enough. If you name Daniel, do you lose Anthony? If you name him, do you lose him?
Should that
and
play
then the reality of
is that? I mean,
if they're even, right? Because even on the other side, like if you start AR, can you ever go away from him then? Because then you lose him mid-season.
We always said the locker room knows because we only see the preseason games, which are, it's a glorified live scrimmage practice. But the guys see both of these guys take reps at the 1s, reps at the 2s. You see them in and out of huddle. You see them interact with, coaches and players and just you see the whole thing. So when Shane names the starter, it shouldn't be a surprise to the locker room. It should be maybe some people outside, but inside that locker room, Anthony knows either he won the job or he lost, and the same thing with Daniel. So as the head coach, when you're making that's why you're getting paid the big bucks. And
it's also D-Bud, it's also the variable of he needs to play. And so if you name Daniel the starter, like my thought is you're kind of saying, all right, we're moving on from him. Because if you're naming Daniel the starter, you're naming Daniel the starter in the hopes that he plays well enough that your guys are winning games and you're a competitive football team and he's the guy for the year. Well, then you're not – Anthony's going into year 4 without playing football. We're having a Trey Lance situation then all over again. And so I'm happy that I don't have to make the decision because, like, there's parts of me that sit there and see it in a lot of different ways.
Man, I want to go to Tone in a second, but I think you're right, Orlovsky, and like this is part of the issue is it should be who's the best quarterback, play the best quarterback. That's not, I mean, these things don't exist in a vacuum, and so it's like, like if you, let's say Daniel's the starter, then to me it's like it's over. Like Anthony Richardson is at some point going to be on another team. He is going to be Trey Lance. Like it's the reality. It sucks. And I agree he needs to play, and I kind of would like to see him play. But if that's what's best for the team, then I think that's what Steichen has to do. But it is not, like, these decisions do not, unfortunately, exist in a vacuum. You know? Tone, go ahead.
Yeah, Dan, I had a question for you because I saw you guys talking about it this morning, but we were prepping for the show, so I didn't really get to hear what you said. You guys were running the highlights of Justin Fields, and, you know, it didn't look great this weekend, and there's been reports out of camp that it hasn't looked incredible. What are you? Because I know you've always been a Justin Fields believer, and I was last year as well. Has it reached the point where, like, hey, this needs, like, he needs to prove himself right now? What have you seen so far?
Yeah, Justin was really disappointing the other night. I don't think he saw coverage. It was like he just got the ball and threw it instead of trying to read. He played slow. And my one thing with Justin as a passer that has always been frustrating is physically, it just takes a long time for the ball to get out of his hands. That's why he's never been a quick game guy. I go back to the first start, you know, when they called a bunch of quick game, and I'm like, what is going on? So that really hasn't grown, which is one thing that as a passer I would like to see. I think he sees progressions fine. I think there's enough accuracy and all that. It just, come on, man, physically. So the other night was frustrating. The only thing I would say, Tone, is this, and while frustrating and I don't want to say concerning, I would be really surprised if this is the offense schematically they roll out in New York.
Agreed, yeah.
Like they haven't done anything when it comes to zone read. Very little RPO zone read stuff that we see out of some athletic quarterbacks. Very little, none designed quarterback read a run. And that should be the case. You would never want to show your hand in the preseason of what you're going to do. So I am holding off a little bit of like, dude, this could be a situation where, you know, he's going to get 10 carries a game and they're going to be in the gun running all this zone read and the combination of stuff that we see with Lamar and Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. And so, like, if they're going to do that, I'm not as doom and gloom. There's one way for the Jets to play this year. It's going to be great defense, run the football 40, 45 times a game. Don't get down by 10. They get down by 10, I think they lose. So I'm not pressing the caution button or the panic button right now just because I don't think what we've seen from them scheme-wise is who they're going to be.
And this is why the preseason is so – I love it. I really love watching football, even if it's preseason football. But, like, I don't know what I'm watching because you're like, is this the fake offense or – the real offense? And obviously we'll see, but like I would agree that if this is what it is, then they're going to have to play some very, very good defense. Ty Schmidt, question.
Yeah, Dan, I'm sure people are probably sick and tired of hearing this, but at what point do you think the Stafford concerns become like legitimately real? Because it seems like, again, you know, every week, hey, he's fine. If he had to play week 1 or if he had to play tomorrow, if it was a playoff game or whatever, he's going to go. But the more this carries on and we have questions about it, like it seems like something is definitely going on here, and he's not getting any younger, and a back isn't exactly a good thing for a quarterback. Like, if you had to put this on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned would you actually be with Stafford's back injury?
Right now, I'm as one, like I don't have concern.
Oh wow!
What?
If you told me,
Wow.
I don't. I don't. From what I know, this is not a functional thing or a capability thing. It's just a pain management, pain tolerance thing. I think that everybody knows he's like the toughest person on the planet type of thing. So that's not something that gives me cause for concern. Now, if it gets to next week, because I think the perspective and D-Butt, you would know this well too, is, dude, that season and that one game they added makes this season so long. I know it's only one game, but it makes it so long. And this is one of those teams that's probably in the handful that, like, they don't think they could play into late January. They expect to play into late January.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, trying to keep that long-term vision of we want him as healthy as possible in December and January. So now if he doesn't practice by next week, yes, my concern level would go up. But right now, I'm not overly concerned with it.
That's why, I mean, from the outside looking in, that's why I'm so concerned, because of who Stafford is, and you spent time around him, you know, as a teammate. But I know
there
these
are
type
things
of
that Dan has seen that probably
but
very
these
few
franchise quarterbacks, like, I know it's a long season, but they don't like missing reps.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about a pain tolerance or a pain threshold,
true.
that's Andrew Luck, for instance, he was one of the toughest guys I ever played with. So when he started missing time and it was like, oh, he'll be back, but okay, it's an ankle, it's a calf. That was like early on, it was like concerned. Every day, every full practice he missed, it became more and more of a concern.
Yeah.
I have that same feeling with Matt. I know he's not a spring chicken, but you know, these reps are valuable, especially getting new weapons in there. Every year it's a new team, but you got Devante Adams. Like, you want to get on the same page with that. So I'm concerned, especially when he's going to practice this day and then he doesn't. Saturday workout, then it's kind of murky. I'm concerned until he gets out there, and hopefully it's a bunch of nothing. But I'm concerned about 9 because he has been.
We also don't know who is the end-all, be-all and why he's not practicing. Is this Stafford going, I can't practice today? Is this them going, hey, there's no need for you to practice?
Yeah.
You know, like, who's the person that – because I do agree with your point of, like, these guys want to be out there. Like, and he's one of those people that loves being out there. But we don't know if it's him saying no. We don't know if it's Sean. We don't know if it's the doctors. We don't know the person that's making the final determination of saying, okay, you're not going on the field today type of thing. And so that I agree with that point. I'm just not overly concerned right now. Maybe, you know, I'm jaded with my.
Are you not
thought
overly concerned because you saw Stetson raising hell out there this weekend?
Certainly hell.
Hey,
Bennett,
actually,
man.
hey, let me interrupt for a second. We have, I don't know if this is breaking news or not, but the Rams have just posted a little video. Matthew Stafford is now back at practice.
Okay.
So, Dan, good job.
I'm down to a 1.
I'm a 1 as well. And I mean, there is right there. That's great work right there. I mean, that looks like a relaxed, chill dude who's going to have a nice casual day at practice.
I've lost all worry.
And, you know, the Rams have been sort of providing updates on this, and it's been interesting to hear because it's like he's going to throw. He threw a lot, then didn't practice that week, and then wouldn't really say if he was going to throw Saturday. And my understanding of this was like, we just want to get some improvement, just like a little bit of improvement, and then he can get back out there. Now he is back out there, so that is, I mean, if you're a Rams fan, or I don't know, let's just say someone who you're good friends with Matthew Stafford, this is a very, very good sign right now that he is walking back to practice.
Yeah, I think like, D-Butt, you grew up in the organization, but like I remember our time in Indy, and he, you know, much greater player than I was there type of thing. But like I remember when Peyton and them were in their heyday, how they approached the offseason was directly correlated individually wise to how many snaps that person played in the previous season. So like if you were a guy that played X amount of snaps, you were allowed organizational mandate to start your offseason training at a certain date. And then if you played 150 snaps more, you started your offseason work X amount of days later. And if you played X amount of snaps more, and so they kept pushing it because their whole philosophy was they were a team that fully believed that they were going to be playing 18, 19, 20 games. And so they wanted your offseason to start later because they knew your season was going to start later and then in turn go into the next season. So I just think it's an organization that has this mindset of where they are. They know that this year is an all-in year. They know that, and they know they can win the whole thing. And so they could ruin January by doing too much in August. Yeah. And you can't really ruin anything else by starting late.
That's a great call. And really, we have seen teams treat this thing differently with the 17 game because they have so much time. And like, I was there for Cowboys-Rams joint practice. The Rams defense should be, it feels like to me, comically good. So this is a very, very good team. Boss O'Connor has a question for you, Dan.
Yeah, Dano, you mentioned them kind of expecting to play into late January, early February, and granted, this is kind of just a opinionated question. August 18th is essentially the worst day of every year when it comes to the preseason. We're halfway through. We really haven't seen enough, and then also we aren't at actual football yet, so it's just one of those things.
August 18th does
How
suck.
do you feel about?
I've always hated this day. Just being totally honest.
Yeah, some people think it's a great day.
Do they?
Tiffany
it's
Lesher,
funny. I haven't heard that.
Tiffany Lesher thinks it's a great day.
No. I mean, it's not like it's a bad day. It's just when we're talking about fodder, like this is the worst day of the year by far. But to be honest, I'm kind of missing whatever you guys are talking about. But when it comes to the, we'll just stay on the West Coast, even in that division, Dan, it feels like the Niners are one of those teams that people have kind of forgotten about. And then you think of teams like the Raiders where, Geno Smith, who's played really good football, and people aren't really talking about them because of the Chargers and Broncos and Chiefs and things like that. But what do you think of those types of teams that aren't getting as much conversation but definitely could turn out to be, 11, 12 win type of team? Do you think the Niners are going to be back to that? Do you think some of these teams like the Raiders, Seahawks, even in that division as well?
That's the team.
That look very different?
Yeah, so I'm going to start geographically. So I think two teams that probably have not been talked about enough that I think are going to be really good teams are Seattle and Arizona. I think Seattle's going to be awesome, man. And Clint Kubiak, new offensive coordinator. And in preseason, they looked fantastic. Just what I watched them present the other night, it looked like a complete offense when it came to changing the snap count, shifting and motioning, different variations in the run game, changing the launch point of the quarterback, different pass games when it comes to sometimes they're trying to get the ball out quickly, sometimes they're trying to push the ball downfield, sometimes you want to play action concepts. So I watched that and I'm going like, man, that looks to be a team that's under control. I think their defense, secondary-wise, will be fantastic once again. So Seattle looks to be, for a team, for me, everyone's talking about, and I'm one of them, Rams, NFC West division favorites, and I still, feel that way. But I think Seattle is going to be very much so in that conversation. Arizona is going to be really difficult to play against. I think Arizona, with Jonathan Gannon, just has an edge to them that is going to be physical. They're going to play violent football. Sometimes when I watch their tape of defense last year, I go, I have no idea what this defense is doing in a way that
they got a good young coordinator, man.
Yeah, and they were hurt last year at the defensive line position with their young, I think Robinson, who they took out of Missouri. He's healthy this year. They signed Sweat. It's Marvin Harrison's second year. So, I think Arizona's a player in that division as well. So, those are two teams. The Raiders, yes, Geno, I'm a huge fan of. Brock Bowers is awesome. I still have concerns about the offensive line. I still have concerns about the defense. The 49ers, I'm a little hesitant on, man. I am. I want to see how Brandon Ayuk is when he comes back. Jennings has got a contract situation and some health situation that's going on. That offensive line has been depleted. That's the thing that probably hasn't gotten enough notoriety when it comes to the fall off of some of their talent. Their offensive line took some significant shots. That defense has lost a lot of talent. So, obviously I have a tremendous amount of respect for who they've been and who they're going to continue to be as far as long term. I don't know if they bounce back as quickly as maybe public perception has them. I still think I'm a little bit hesitant to see what they're going to be.
That's interesting. And I think you're right. You rightly point to the offensive line as all right, if a team is going to falter a little bit, let's say the Raiders, who I think are going to be better, or the 49ers, that's where the focus goes. Dan, you have been awesome. We appreciate you. I just have one last thing before we let you go.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any plans for today? Are you going to just do you want anything interesting going on today?
No, I'm working from 7 to 10 tonight. So,
Are you really?
Oh, my football?
Yeah. Long day.
Going on?
Interesting.
Long day.
All right.
Long day.
Well, I guess
No,
that's
nothing
it's
interesting is
good,
going on.
Sure.
Should we?
That feels like a present, maybe.
Yeah.
I would love a present.
We don't have a present, but we do wish you happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate you.
I waited till the last possible minute because birthdays are still a little bit weird because we're all grown, but I'm very happy for you for your 32nd birthday, and you were awesome, and thank you very much for having me.
32?
32, yeah.
I assume he's 32,
Yep.
right?
He looks it.
I'm
31?
42.
Well, whatever.
42.
Jeez.
42.
That sucks.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
playing quarterback at 42 still? I can't.
No, dude. No.
can't.
I say no, you can't. No, you can't. I say
Well,
it
no,
to
not
my,
me personally, but
family all the time.
I'd root for one.
No. I don't know how he
Shout out
does
George
it, man.
Pointer.
God bless him.
We just saw you spin
God
on the Pro
bless him.
Bowl,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Years
Been at the
ago.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, you embarrass everybody else, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Goodbye,
I
Dan.
can't stand you.
Love you, Dan. Take it easy, brother. Have
Good
fun
stuff
working on
from
your birthday,
Orlovsky
brother.
there. Yeah. Do you think he was wondering if we were going to wish him happy? He must have been, right? Like, how
No,
long
because he
do you
knows we're
think-
here to talk ball.
No.
You're right.
He had to be the whole time. He was like, are they going to say it? Had to be.
Eventually.
Maybe.
No, Dan seems like the guy. He would have squeezed a Michael Scott in there if he really had to and been like, hey, Connor, I didn't know it was your birthday today, too. Like, I think that would be kind of the move. Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. So it's
It's
my
just-
birthday.
yeah.
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 You had an interesting reaction to something he said.
Which was what?
When he was talking about the Jets, about how they're not actually running their offense, you kind of perked up a bit. Is that happening around the league right now with some of these teams?
It does. And so I had the same reaction to him. Like, you see Justin Fields, you watch the Jets, you're kind of like, all right. Like, and I know it is. I think for Jets fans, they went all in with Rodgers. It worked out, obviously, how it all worked out. Feels like a small bit of a reset or a big bit of a reset. So,
Big one.
as far as what I'm expecting, if they win 7 games, I'd be like, very solid.
No doubt.
Very solid. But then, you watch them and you're kind of like, all right, that wasn't great. But their offensive coordinator is supposed to be really good. Fields, I personally felt last year, should have probably kept starting. I don't know. That's what I felt. I would have liked to. What do you think?
Yeah, at the time, I thought when I go back to week 7 or whatever it was, I thought he should have, yes.
So,
but then Russ played really well for those first 6 weeks, and then it all fell apart. But yes, so you could look back on it. But yes, I remember at that time, week 7, being like, yeah, let's just keep this going.
And that was kind of what I was. And so, I think they should be better. But then you're watching them and you're like, they're not. And so what I never know, and this is why the preseason can be so frustrating, is what am I actually watching?
Yes.
Practice.
Right, but then it's Caleb goes out and plays. I mean, I'm with Dan. He looked good. That was when I was at Bears camp. It was a struggle. I know he was dealing with a lot. They intentionally gave him a lot, and it was sort of let's see what he can deal with, and then we'll narrow it down as we get closer. And I'm kind of how is this going to look better? And then you look last night, and it really looked better. I mean, these are some good throws, quick decisions, decisive. But then it's sort of what am I actually watching?
Yeah, Dan said it, man. We all know it. Coaching, it matters, but this shit it's hard. It's tough to especially you talk about a guy like Justin Fields. He's on another team, another offense, so you're learning a different language. So everyone has the ability. Everyone that goes out there and trots out of the tunnel with a helmet on has the ability to play whatever position they're signed to play, but actually learning that, creating a relationship, creating a rapport with your play caller, your weapons, all these different things. You look around the league at all the good quarterbacks, a lot of them have some type of continuity with the play caller or the system in place. So when you're going and jumping around from place to place, that's tough. That's a lot to handle. So I appreciate, Ben Johnson coming and putting a lot on his plate and then kind of trimming it down. And Caleb, we know he has the ability, but you want to just react out there. You don't want to be thinking. Right. And so it's tough, man. I hope he figures it out. All these guys who are in new places. Sam Darnold, he's over in Seattle. Yeah. Gino, all these guys are in new places, so it is a lot on their plate. But, hopefully the arrow's still pointing up.
Yeah, even Rodgers. You wonder with Aaron if they had some sort of agreement, like when, clearly the Steelers knew that Aaron was going to be the QB. You wonder if Aaron was aware of the offense or, how long he's actually
Must have been. I mean, I know there are rules, but like he can still he can go study Arthur Smith stuff. He's smart. He can figure it out, right?
Yeah, and because when you talk about having a lot of offenses, like how many OCs has Rodgers had in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Like with the Jets. I mean Hackett was the OC when he first started there, and that feels like it was 15 years ago at this point with the entire situation. So like if the Steelers come out on fire, you might look at that and think to yourself like, damn, we really do have the smartest coaching staff in the history of football.
Yeah, I can see it. I can really see it happening. Rap.
I mean, I spent some time with Arthur when I was at training camp there, and he's the best. He was in a very good place. Also, still rocking the mustache, which I blame you guys for that.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
You don't want it to be?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, I thought that was just kind of like a fun thing, like a Movember, or wasn't that why?
So he was doing it as the Falcons coach, yeah.
Yeah.
But then he realized he looks incredible with it.
Yeah, and then he shaved it, and he was like, "Well, this dog won't. I need to grow that thing back."
Foxy, is that a video of Artie? Because did you see the?
He was making waves.
Did you see what he was singling in this weekend? That's the best play in the playbook that we
He
had.
was doing the Mahomes.
I would like to know more on this.
The next play. I thought he was doing the next play thing.
They scored a touchdown on that. They did score a touchdown on the next.
A lot of good memes.
I thought it was a hurry up
associated with that.
Next play.
I think it might have been.
But going back to your point about Fields and like the preseason, that's why it's important, but it ultimately doesn't matter because after the Packers game, people were acting like he was Warren Moon. He had that one drive, and it was like, oh my God, look how good this guy looks. And I think he knows too, and they're not going to do it in the preseason. Like if the Jets are going to be their most successful version of the team, like he's going to have to be a weapon with his legs, and he's probably going to have to rush for 1,000 yards, and they're obviously not going to have him, taking a bunch of hits and running a bunch of keepers and read option and all that kind of stuff in the preseason. So, like, the book's still out on him, but it's week to week. I said this on Friday with Caleb, like, if he played the way he did last night, obviously everyone was going to say this guy's unbelievable. It's working. Ben Johnson's unbelievable. If he would have played terrible last night, he would have been getting killed today. And it would have been like, hey, this guy is not going to work with Ben Johnson. His offense is too complicated. He doesn't get it. He can't, check his attitude at the door, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's so week to week. Like, we're not going to know any of this stuff until week one.
Correct.
It's good he played well, too, because the bag man is a problem.
The bag man is a problem.
Their backup, Tyler Bagent, is legitimately
Did you hear what Ryan Poles said? He's like, nobody works harder than Tyson Bagent. Nobody works.
Well, except for his father, maybe.
Except for his father, who humiliated Tom Pelissero on NFL Network.
Wow.
Did he arm wrestle Tom?
Take full credit for it. Have you never heard this story?
No.
It was at the Senior Bowl, wasn't it?
It was at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
So we were out
snap his arm
on like a Tuesday or something.
Compound fracture.
Literally, it was.
Couldn't play the bass for 2 months. Broke his heart.
Broke his heart was the worst. I mean, that was the humiliation was the worst thing. But so we were out having some drinks the night, like on a Tuesday night or whatever. We run into Tyson Mason's agent and his dad.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what you should do? Because Tom, here it is right here. Because Tom is our sideline reporter for Senior Bowl. I'm like, you should arm wrestle Tom. And Tom kind of laughs. I'm like, no, you should actually do it. Now, I didn't know that this guy was basically like a WWE superstar with the mic. Like, I had no idea. But the humiliation here, like, at some point, he just starts, like, laughing. And look at Tom. He had, like, I think he went 2 hands at one point. There he goes, right?
There it is,
Yeah.
How many times have you watched this? 200?
I mean, so many. Like, literally so many. And then Tom's face is like, you think he'd think it's funny? He does not think it's funny. He's like, look, give me the mic. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Yeah. I take full
Guys
credit.
laughing.
Well, I mean, what was Tom expecting to go in there and like go over the top like Sylvester Stallone and break his arm? I mean, come on.
So
does he think he is Lincoln Hawk?
No, you never know. But don't you think that he thought he would be able to like maybe move it like a
No.
You do not think.
That guy's like a 7-time national champion. No, you kidding me? Of course not. But I like the Pelissero. Thought he was going to go in there and I'm gonna beat this guy's ass. Yeah.
I do like that.
Can we do?
I like that a lot.
Can we finish Ask Rap since it got cut off early by Dano?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go back to Micah Parsons because I can't remember if it was Friday or over the weekend, but Ricky the dog on Twitter report, and he's got his sniffer up to things. And he knows.
He was very mean to me on Twitter recently.
Well, hey, that's the insider game sometimes. It's vicious. But there were reports that of all the teams out there, like the Packers actually put together somewhat of a serious package or were interested, and they called the Cowboys and said, hey, let's do this. Is there any truth to that? And if Parsons does end up getting dealt, do we have any kind of timeline? And is the expected package it would take to receive him kind of like what it was when the Bears traded for Khalil Mack?
Yeah, okay. So let's start with the last part. I do believe that would be the offer. Now, I think for Mack, it was like a 1, a future 2 with a pick going. Like it was, I remember at the time being like, this is the biggest trade I've ever seen. Like it was, for a player, it was massive. And that was, I mean,
ones?
Yeah, it was 2 ones.
Was it 2 ones, and then a 2?
It was
give it to me.
2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a 6th-round pick to the Raiders. The Raiders also received a 2020 second-round pick and a conditional 2020 fifth-round pick.
And did they swap? Did they swap as well?
Yeah. The Los Angeles Chargers for a 2022 second-round pick. Yeah.
Okay, so it was 2 ones with a 2 ones plus with a 2 coming back, which is like, look, if the Cowboys are going to trade Micah Parsons, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be all of the picks. I don't believe that the Cowboys have received any official offers because I don't believe that they have accepted or engaged with anyone. Okay? Because to have it, I mean, I was going to say fax over an offer. You could text over an offer if you wanted to. I don't believe it's gotten there because teams usually don't make offers until they know that, we're talking. Mm-hmm. I would expect that the Packers would be among the teams interested. And I would expect the Packers would be among the teams really interested.
Okay.
They have paid Jordan Love. They have a bunch of really good young players, but they haven't. There's some guys like Quay Walker they have not paid. Dahn they paid, but they have money to spend, and they are really good. And so that's the kind of team that I would say, if Micah was going to be traded, that he'd be going to, because it's we need one final piece. This guy is an absolute dog. He's worth all the money, so pay him all the money. Mm-hmm. I mean, God only knows what Mulugeta would make that contract. It'd be all of it. Mm-hmm. But it'd be worth it because you'd get Micah Parsons. And there'd be some other, think of all of the really good teams, playoff teams, who have money and a spot. There's a lot of them. It's those are the teams that'd be interested, all of the teams.
We were talking about Jerry a little bit last week. Is there any sort of sense that he has lost it whatsoever when it comes to the business side of it? Because someone actually released the amount of money he lost by waiting for Dak and waiting for CD, and it's $65 million over 2 different deals. Is there any sense of that? Is there any sense of Stephen Jones becoming more serious? I forget who we had on the show. Maybe it was Schrager. It was Swagoo. And Swagoo basically was hey, the Cowboys need to completely separate the two, when it comes to front office stuff, and then the Cowboys stuff, the tours and the practices and things like that. Swagoo.
I'm just laughing, thinking of Jerry giving tours.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But that was Swagoo's point.
Which would actually be an amazing, Jerry giving a tour of the stadium.
People would pay top dollar.
That'd be sold out for months.
Absolutely amazing. Count me in on that.
Yes. But is he is there any sense like that? Is Stephen Jones, is that plan already kind of in place? Is that going to happen sometime soon if this keeps going terribly wrong?
So I think it is happening. I think Stephen Jones and Will McClay are now, there's sort of an eye roll, I'm sure, because it's the son of an owner, but Stephen Jones is very smart, very well versed, great at personnel, and very good at value and figuring out dealing with the organization. You call him the president, you'd call him the COO, which is his actual title, whatever. Those guys have been basically in charge as the Cowboys have built themselves into a draft and develop, pay your guys organization. But Jerry is the boss, and until he decides for himself that he is not going to be, he is the boss.
Mm-hmm. Do you think other GMs right now though are thinking oh, this guy's gettable now? If there's ever a time to go do something like this, now's the time to do it because Jerry's kind of got his.
Because it never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because I don't think. First of all, you're right. No players this good are available ever.
Ever.
And that's why the trade value is so crazy. It's even Stafford, when he was traded, it was 2 ones and they threw in a Goff. which is ridiculous, but that's what it was. It's like these guys are never available. So yes, I think teams are like, oh my God, could we get Micah Parsons? But then you talk to these teams, or you talk to the Cowboys, you talk to people involved, and it's sort of like,
he ain't going nowhere.
They don't talk like he's going. Like the Cowboys have not engaged. They have not said
get the
like,
deal done.
Yeah, but exactly, and like you just said it, they've turned themselves into like a draft, grow your players, take care of them. Like, sure, they are that, but like they do it wrong. We just talked about Amon-Ra getting paid $30 million a year, and that looks like the cheapest wide receiver deal of all time. Like
Great
the
deal.
Lions are a team that do that. They
sure
draft
do.
and develop, and then they pay, and then
Early.
they save money because of it. Like the Cowboys are the opposite of that. They don't pay guys. They make it a huge stink, and then it gets done. Like, see, we're a year removed from C.D. Lamb having Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray as his, profile picture, whatever the hell it was, and people thought he was going to Arizona. Like that's what happens with the Cowboys every single year. So, like
that C.D. Lamb one never made sense to me. I mean, a lot of them don't.
None of them do.
None of them do.
Dak Prescott's had his leg cramp up on the field, and then he got paid after. It was like, if you're going to franchise tag your quarterback, the future of your franchise, the reason you do that is just in case they have some, terrible injury, because then you don't have to pay the guy a ton of money. And that's exactly what happened. But then they paid Dak, a massive contract anyways after he got hurt. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way the Cowboys see it, and it sounds, I hate to say this, sounds weird explaining it, because this would not be, I would do things more like the Lions do it.
No doubt.
Like, and even now, like, whenever they engage on Aiden Hutchinson, like, I expect it to be a deal where it's going to be a lot. Everyone will be like, oh my God, I can't believe they paid. And then Micah will come in higher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are generally very, very proactive. But I think what the Cowboys think is like, all right, if we pay him early, that's just more money we pay early. Let's keep the money in our pockets as long as possible. Pay him when we have to, pay him. And like, if we have to pay a little more, we have more information. That's generally the thought, but like, that does cost him a little more.
Does the locker room care, Butsy?
I mean, it is good for I think the just the overall morale, and like we always talk about the buzzword culture. So like how the Eagles do business.
Yes.
Like, hey, you guys, you do your job, you come in, you're good on the field, you're good in the locker room, you get paid. Saquon, you get a bump. Jordan, you get paid.
That
Lane
Saquon,
Johnson,
you think that Saquon contract, everybody was like, oh.
Yeah, and you look at him like, okay,
the
that's,
second contract.
yeah, that's Saquon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how I'm sure everyone views Micah in the Dallas locker room, because even last year when they were pretty much out of the playoff run, Dak was hurt. He was still out there, playing hurt. C.D. Lamb, who just got paid, he was still playing hurt. So I credit that a lot to Mike McCarthy, who's there as well. But to Jerry's credit and to Steven's credit, they do draft well. Like they find good players, and
really
they pay them late. Jerry's, in his mind, it's like, okay, if I pay him early, I guess you're getting 1 year closer to that next deal anyway, if it's going to be a guy, so you're going to end up paying them big time money. They paid Trevon Diggs early. I'm thinking his third year, he was a second-round pick. But, Micah,
After his third year,
Yeah, he's one of the easy guys, I feel like. He's done everything right from the beginning. He's been an all-pro, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year. Like, just get that one done, because he's not going there. You have his leverage. You have his rights for the next 3 years, fifth-year option. And you can franchise him twice. So, I mean, get that deal done. To us, it makes sense. We're not writing the checks. I get that part. But, I mean, we never see a player like this available or a player like this play on their fifth-year option. Like, never.
Yeah.
You never see that.
Well, and they can't really lean back on the, like, hey, we'll just keep this extra money in our pocket right now in case we want to improve the team, more, because you look at what they did last offseason. That's what everyone bitched about. It's like, well, you guys didn't do anything during free agency
also,
to make
like,
the team any better.
now?
Well, yeah, exactly. And now we're at the point of the game where it's like, okay, you've just alienated your best defensive player. And, yeah, it's not like there are guys like Micah Parsons out there who are available to get, in the interim. Like, it's just not going to happen. It makes no sense.
And it's hard to imagine right now, but this is going to get louder because the Cowboys Netflix show comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
on Netflix. And so maybe this whole entire thing, and if this is the case, then I take back everything I've said about Jerry Jones. He's a genius. Maybe he's waiting to sign him tonight so that everybody knows that this Cowboys show is coming out on Tuesday, and it's great promotion for it. And this whole thing was just, a joke, basically. But there's going to be a clip that comes out where Jerry's probably not even talking about Micah, but something gets said, and then people link it that he's talking shit about Micah, like people did with Dylan Gabriel after his, game. People said he took a shot at, Shadir Sanders. Obviously, he didn't. But people will do that with stuff that comes out from this show tomorrow because it's basically just about Jerry.
I didn't realize it's coming out to him. I actually watched it. I watched all 8 episodes.
Yeah,
it's kind of awesome.
Is it just last season?
No, it's all the way. It's the whole
story.
How Jerry built the Cowboys,
like the Chiefs one, that just came out.
Yeah, like the Kingdom.
The Kingdom.
That one I have not seen.
It was good.
I didn't get the sneak peek for that one.
So is it him dealing with Emmitt Smith?
Oh,
Dahn
and like the Emmitt Smith. Hold up, there's a lot of Michael Irvin stuff. I'm not going to spoil it. Michael Irvin is a rock star.
Crushes it. I love that.
If
there was like an MVP,
it was. Yeah.
It's not a shocker.
He is.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, you want Michael playing. You want him in there playing football because it's nothing like getting into football shape. I think Jerry already came out and said I wouldn't bet on him out there week 1.
Yeah,
like you don't want to do that. If you're a Cowboys fan, you want Mike out there. I mean, I really, really hope they get this deal done. It just does not make sense. But to your point, if he does do it.
I mean,
it would be an all-time Jerry move.
That would be an all-time Jerry move. And I feel more bad for Ty at this moment now because as a non-Packers fan, I'm imagining Micah Parsons on the Packers. That would be so cool.
It would be
like Reggie White.
Yeah. It would be just like Reggie White, minus the 2-month-long free agency tour. All right, before we get to commercial.
Yeah, real quickly, because we were talking about the Commanders a lot earlier with Terry McLaurin and them going all in and stuff.
Yeah.
There was a report this weekend that they're potentially looking at trading their starting running back, Brian Robinson. Is there legitimacy to that?
I would say there is some legitimacy. I don't like the term shopping because to me, shopping is like if you're shopping a player, you're going to cut him if you don't like.
Yeah, he's not getting cut.
I don't believe he's getting. I mean, he's a starting running back.
Yeah.
So my sense of this one is like they got a good young running back, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have Austin Eckler. They are probably not going to extend him.
They think they have a good running back.
They think they have
He's a rookie, yes.
Right. They're not going to extend him. So if you're not going to extend him, let's see if we can get something for him now. Like, it's interesting. I'm sure they'll be able to get something. I'm sure there is a market. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's dealt. It's just interesting because, like, they're really good. He's their starter. So it's like, how unbelievably confident do you have to be to trade your starting running back before the season?
In the rookie.
Right. And in the rookie or in, like, we're just going to make it work with 31-year-old Austin Eckler, who is so jacked. Yeah. Like I follow him on Instagram for I don't know why, and all he does is pull-ups.
Yeah, he's
jacked.
He is like.
I mean, you got to keep in mind when you're looking in the mirror, Austin Eckler is basically looking back at you. He's just much more jacked and worked really, really hard. But you guys are like the same.
You could
size.
look like Austin Eckler.
I do the Peloton. He does the pull-ups.
Yeah, he does real stuff. Really quick, just because there's only 30 seconds. Is Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, is that a real running back one battle or
fantasy? Is that a quick fantasy?
No. I'm genuinely asking.
That is a great question, and if only we had a couple more hours to discuss. Put a pin in that one.
Okay.
Good tease.
That is a good tease.
In the business, stay here. I mean, not here, but basically here.
Yeah.
We will be right back on the Pat McAfee Show with a lot more football talk, some fun guests. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
There is about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yeah! There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass. Listen, there is thousands and thousands
of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time. Okay? Can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Mana,
What can I say except you're welcome?
and we talk about Mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't let it buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is a takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me, Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Mwah. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying, like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup. Sorry, Micah.
And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passan. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you smell what
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
You may want Pat, but you are not getting Pat today. That's okay. I'm Ian Rapoport, guest hosting the Pat McAfee Show.
Football!
The pause was a little too long.
It
again.
was.
It's okay. It was.
I mean, you'll hit it.
Cooler.
You'll get next hour. You'll
One
hit
for
it.
two. It was a
Will I,
cooler
though?
lead line.
Well, this is the last chance.
I've done this like 4 times. I've not even come close to hitting it once.
You're pretty good, hour one.
Yeah.
All right, well,
you're good.
And you saying, you wanted Pat.
that was good.
I'm not Pat.
Yeah, little Adam Shine-esque.
Yeah, that was a little shiny.
It was.
Sometimes I run into Adam Shine at the
We all do.
one of the local restaurants. We get some soup dumplings together.
There was a bit of a shine to it. I like that.
Yeah, so do I.
And you broke news during the break, so
Yes.
that was cool.
We have some breaking news.
Wait, you did?
The Cleveland Browns have named Joe Flacco as their starting quarterback.
What? No!
I would agree. It is not a surprise. But it is reality. Joe Flacco is
Bullshit.
their starter. They have now.
Wait, why are you so
That's a
upset?
surprise.
Watch week 1 of the preseason? Christ. Is what some people would say.
But not you.
Yeah.
All right. I know you guys have just heard this news. I know you are quickly digesting it.
Yes.
I want immediate and deep reaction on what this means and how surprised you guys are.
You heard it.
Jared Judy's gonna have 2,200 yards and 25 touchdowns because Joe Flacco is gonna throw it as far as possible, and he finally has a receiver that will get under every single thing, and his name is Jerry Jeudy.
I think he's right. I mean, I think we knew this was going to happen when
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Flacco signed with the Browns. So
I think that's
this
probably
is
right.
really that
I don't
crazy
think
of
so.
a story.
No.
Yeah, this goes back to the August 18th thing, where it's like you were halfway through and all the stuff we already know hasn't been announced yet, but it's about to be announced. So
Kind of
it's
what it feels like.
Yeah,
It's like for this quarterback battle in general, like we always knew it was going to be Joe, just because he did so well in the Stefanski offense. He hasn't played any of the preseason games because they're not worried about him playing in the preseason games. They know how good he is. They probably were never going to start a 3rd-round pick or a 5th-round pick, rookie quarterback. Will they later in the season? Maybe. And Kenny Pickett has been hurt basically all preseason. So I mean, the writing was on the wall always for Joe here in this quarterback battle.
Yeah.
Now, some of the other quarterback battles, I am not so sure who's going to win it, but this one, it felt like it was always Joe's.
yeah, Joe and Stefanski.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to keep in
Peanut
mind
butter
here.
and jelly.
I like how all the highlights are just Colts, Joe.
Well, they're from last year.
Yeah, and it's
No, I know, but
it's-
I'm just saying, like, we spent
Right.
all this time talking about the Colts, and then it's like, I mean, right?
Yeah, it's reminded me that I jumped on a sword for Joe last year.
Yes.
So
Take us through it.
You know, I've
Go ahead, buddy.
Anthony
As you should.
tapped out and he did the whole thing. Hey, let's go with the guy. He gives us a chance in the locker room. Blah. Same thing's going on in Cleveland. He is the guy week 1. We all expected to be the starter. Do I expect him to be the starter week 12? I think he would have to play really, really, really well, and then both rookies will have to be not developing and not playing well in practice.
Wait, so you
For them
don't
to
think
not
this
get
is like
opportunity.
the whole year?
I don't think this is a. I mean, it's tough to commit to. How old is Joe now? 40.
40.
Probably 40.
40, yeah.
I think
I mean-
flat.
This is where I talk about how old he is, and he's younger than me, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
and look,
you're not playing quarterback.
He's played quarterback for a
Sure
long
not.
time, so he could have a good year. We talked about Jerry Jeudy and the other weapons he has around him. Could have a good year, but I think you got to find out with the picks that they have next year. You got to find out what
Yes.
you have in one or two of those young quarterbacks. And I think Kenny Pickett may be the odd man out. Didn't really give himself a chance this preseason to kind of battle or compete. But happy for Joe. He got another opportunity to start in the National Football League. You can't overlook that ever. And he is a pro's pro. So let's see if he'll figure it out. But young guys continue to take those reps and take advantage of the opportunities.
You also have to keep in mind here that when Joe Flacco was in Cleveland last, he did the unthinkable, and
True.
you know he beat out somebody who died on the field to win Comeback Player of the Year. So when you're thinking of Cleveland and Joe
I mean,
Flacco,
not wrong.
you kind of do have to go into that thought of, hold on, can Joe Flacco
Took them to the playoffs.
and Jerry Jeudy and now Isaiah Bond. I mean, they got all these guys who are so fast, and they got the strongest arm in the history of the NFL.
Judkins.
Man, I was there for training camp, and I stood in the end zone while they were doing red zone, and not only was it like it was on the money, it was on, like he looked good.
Joe-
We're
Still
talking
got it.
about Joe Flacco.
I just
Saying some schmuck.
I just remember when he was with. Do you guys know that Joe Flacco played for the Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
he's
actually
on the
he was
show.
on the show when he was on the Broncos. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And
When was this?
and got
Because,
This was circa 2019, I want to say.
Yeah,
okay.
McMahon,
When he was
did
on the
McManus
Broncos.
hit
Yeah.
a game winner.
Yeah.
what was it?
Remember that?
McManus had like a game winner, and
had-
McManus was on.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was on the show, and
Joe walked
he
to the
just
back.
said, "Hey, Joe, say hi." And he did.
So yeah, we're highly aware of Joe's.
And he's still. I mean, I just don't. It's just like the weirdest career ever. Like Super Bowl winner, starter up here, gets replaced by. I forget what happened to the guy who replaced him, but I think he's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, solid.
Which is fine. I mean, that was great job by Baltimore.
Team made the right move.
I think they made the right move. I
But
think
it was weird. You're right. Like after that happened, he just kind of fell off a cliff.
Well, the
and
Jets happened to
People, yeah, but people just kind
Oh
of
wow!
wrote him off.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
But a lot of quarterbacks go to the Jets to
Is that
die.
where he went next?
And then they go to
Shouldn't I
other
know this?
organizations to be revived and thrive and make the playoffs.
Oh really?
That's
Yeah.
what the Browns
You're just
do.
speaking in general,
That's what
not,
Flacco did.
not related to anything.
What Chad Pennington did. Okay, that's what
Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic,
Fitzmagic.
Darnold,
Brett Favre.
Favre.
Fitzmagic won 10 games with the Jets, but
It's actually a
Yeah,
pretty
that-
decent little list we got going
I think
on
that
of
was the
guys
last
that
time.
left the Jets and then did better at their next.
Eagles,
place.
I don't remember. Is this weird?
I think Eagles was just a can of corn. I don't think he actually played.
because that's the same year as Jets.
Yep.
So.
And then I remember with the, I think it was with the Browns in 2013. He was signed in week like 8 or something like that, right? And then
2023.
2023. Yeah.
2023, right?
Yeah, he was off the couch. Yeah, he
Right.
only.
And nobody. I remember talking to his agent Joe Linta. Nobody offered. No one wanted him. It was literally over, and then he signed with the practice squad.
Because they reached out to the Jets, I think, because Rodgers had already gotten hurt and Zach Wilson wasn't playing good, and the Jets basically said, like, nah, yeah, we're not interested.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Joe Flacco, also a good dude.
Great dude.
Great Joe. Joe's the man.
I have
Room for Joe.
Never lost his accent either.
Nope.
He doesn't have an accent.
Yes,
Joe
he does.
doesn't have an accent?
Yes, he does.
Rap.
No. Are you guys making fun of me now?
No,
he has
Stop.
a
No, he
thick
doesn't.
accent.
Look up
No,
Joe
he does
Flacco
not.
saying the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Can we get that so I can laugh at
You
myself?
just heard it. You actually just heard
Exactly.
the
I
clip.
can't, see, I can't. The problem with you guys is I can't tell if you've like had a discussion about this beforehand. You're like, all right,
Well, I mean, we've definitely had discussions. We have discussions about everything, but this one's real.
I can't believe.
He's got a very thick Philadelphia-adjacent accent.
He was a blue hen.
Yeah, when
Blue Hen I knew about.
When you hear it, you're gonna feel really dumb about what has happened the last minute.
I mean, I felt pretty dumb with Orlovsky laughing about my golfing skills and talking about how much he's going to beat me, but that's probably true also. So,
What if you go out there and just shove it up his ass?
could you imagine?
Yeah, I could.
So happy. The problem with playing golf against these guys who are like actual athletes is I like work so hard and I'm so mediocre, and he's like going to be much better than me.
Yeah, see,
Maybe not.
He's a foot taller than you.
He is a foot taller than me.
The real problem is when you are thinking about playing golf again, and then you see like Scotty Scheffler chip in, and you're like, oh, okay, so I could never do that, so I'm not going to play golf. That'd be stupid.
I didn't even understand. I went to. This is definitely why the people are watching.
Well, Scotty Scheffler won the BMW championship. I don't know
He
if you
did.
wanted to, yeah.
Scotty Scheffler won the BMW championship, chipping in with a absolutely ridiculous chip that you're seeing right here on the 17.
Yep.
In like the most beautiful, elegant chip that you've ever seen.
Perfect.
Like, and what I don't understand is that at some point his caddy, he's on a different caddy right now. His caddy's like, all right, land it here and it's gonna roll 40 feet. And he's like,
least.
got you. Like, if I have a caddy say that to me, I'm like, yeah, bro, cool.
Yeah, and it goes back to like what Bryson was saying last week about how like his distances. And granted, obviously he's not 500 yards on the tee box hitting a driver, but like he knows exactly how hard and to hit the ball. It is just insane watching not just Scotty, because there are a bunch of dudes. I mean, Akshay Bhatia had a hole in one
From 225.
Yeah, like
That's
all the
hilarious.
guys are just so good.
Bobby Mack, Robert McIntyre, arguably was like the story of the entire tournament, was just on fire. And then, that's the difference between him and Scotty Scheffler. As they get paired together, they're in the final round, and he bogeys 3 of his first 4 holes. Scotty birdies 2 of them, and it's like, wow, that's an 8-shot swing there to start Sunday.
Scotty has that ability, yeah. Because Bob Mack was up. I think he was minus 14 going into Saturday, and minus 7 was second place. Like, just unbelievable first 2 rounds, and then you're standing next to Scotty on the first tee, and everything starts falling
Scotty's
apart.
inevitable.
It is inevitable.
Golf is the worst like that, though. Like, if you're, like, I know you're supposed to be, like, all right, you're playing the course and you're playing your own shots, but, like, you're obviously not. This is why, like, match play, I mean, this wasn't match play, but it sort of kind of was. Like, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Because, you bogey, he birdies, you feel like you lost a million, so much ground, and you're like, how do you not watch this great golfer just humiliate you on the course?
Well, and that's why the Ryder Cup's so awesome. To everything you just said about like, it's you and it's just you're just
that's
looking
a
at your
pretty
score.
good group, by the way.
Yeah, they are going. This is going to be an incredible tournament.
You got to get out there, just one day.
You'll be out there.
They'll be
It's close to your house, right?
Yeah.
It's about an hour away.
You've played. You've played Bethpage,
I have
haven't you?
played Bethpage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you shoot?
I shot
170.
No. I played it. I think
Red
4
tees,
times.
red tees.
I shot 89 one time.
Pretty good.
But it is so much. Like, first time I played it, I wasn't driving the ball well at all, and I was in the rough
It's tough, yeah.
I'm like, all right, in the rough, 6 iron to an elevated green, 185 away. I'm like, yeah, it's not.
Might as well just punch that out.
Yeah,
Literally, I mean,
Give yourself
so
a
I
chance.
ended up punching out
for
the
it.
whole freaking round.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
What tees?
Played from the whites.
Smart.
So
Very smart.
But it really is like, it is one of my favorite golf courses ever. Everyone walks, and then by the end you get to like, I think 16 is like from an elevated tee box, and so you have to walk all the way up there with your clubs. You're so tired. It's like a beast of a golf course, and you're like, 3 more holes, Like these guys are going to do it for
Oh, yeah.
the most intense,
Yeah.
you know. And 18 is so fun too. 18 looks like a stadium hole basically. It's short, bunkers all lined down, green up top. Like everyone drives it in the bunker, and it's like high drama. It's going to be very fun.
Yeah. When is it exactly?
It is the week 4 of NFL season.
Oh.
End of September, I believe.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And I think it's Thursday. Is it Thursday? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday. So.
Because Friday, Saturday is best ball and alternating, and then Sunday all 14 guys go out.
Speaking of,
Yeah, you can't talk big time golf without talking LIV Indianapolis.
Is that
I mean, they delivered. I don't know if you watched. You were watching BMW.
So
Did you watch?
I did not. So my son
Come on.
Max is here.
Did
Max,
you?
say hi. He's not. He's watching YouTube.
That baby Max.
Maybe.
He has no idea we're even talking.
My
about
wife
him.
is gonna literally kill me because he's not supposed to be watching YouTube, but it's fine unless he's watching the show.
better than a different tube.
He's 12, but he's
Not in
not
this
15.
Sure.
Not in this state. That's right.
Yeah, you're not allowed to in this
Definitely
state.
not. And he goes,
Basketball, and there's ways around.
Yeah. We got a guy in
That's
here
why
that
Bill.
just couldn't
That's
cut
why Bill's got that Chicago VPN.
ready whenever. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, sure.
I have no comments.
Go ahead. Sorry, where were we going?
Your boy's a real live head, is what you were saying.
We're walking through the course, and he goes, "Wait, was there golf here?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Could we have seen it?" I'm like, "Yes, could have seen it." And he had like no idea that the LIV tournament was literally here.
Yeah, they came. They came here.
Were you there?
I was not here. I was home, but a couple of the boys they went. They sound like they had a great time. Ron won, which kind of had some people, because he won, but Joaquin won like 5 events. John Rahm didn't win any, but he's been like top 5, top
Didn't
10
win any?
and all.
No.
But he is won back-to-back now. Yeah, didn't win any event. So the point system, which is something to be talked about, but they deliver. I think they sold out all the tickets here. They'll be coming back next year.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have one more in Michigan next week to kind of wrap up the team championships.
They have the in-person thing figured out. They need to get the TV thing figured
Is
out.
it? I want to.
Because there's more people on the TV than there is at the
Yeah,
golf course.
Nick,
For now.
who was like the last person I expected to enjoy it, said it was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it was because I've been to like PGA events, like I've been to the U.S. Open at Oakmont, and the LIV thing was just so relaxed. It just felt comfortable. It was cool. The music wasn't too loud. It was a nice vibe. You could get a great seat, great sight lines. And Zito was there too, and I know they hooked him up a little bit. And it was just it was totally awesome.
Look at that smile.
You guys
Look at that smile.
weren't sitting together?
I went on Saturday. Zeke went on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But you guys didn't sit in the same seats?
I will tell you, people were parachuting in to tell you who
What?
was like, on the leaderboard. It was one of the coolest things of all time. And then the fireworks. I know.
It's live,
Dave
Is that a
fireworks.
euphemism or like?
They're literally parachuting in.
Yeah, to tell you who's in the lead and who's in second.
Like,
I feel like this is like the Joe Flacco accent thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
this
making fun of it.
I'm on the same page as you here.
Real guys.
No way.
Live
Nope.
out of the box.
They do.
It is golf,
it's
but
awesome.
louder.
Why John Rahm drinking milk like he just won a
Indy
break?
500,
In Indiana.
yeah, in Indy.
Okay.
They had a pace
I
car.
wasn't sure if they. Okay, so I thought
And everyone
it
was cool with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do as the locals
I think
do.
they asked
Exactly.
him before the tournament, like if he would consider doing that if he won. And he was like, "Yeah."
They shot, I think, a 60 yesterday, too.
Yeah, that course was very
Shut
gettable.
it.
Stuff
Yeah,
like
oh,
that.
yeah.
I thought that's why they did it, but I wasn't sure if it was some like, hey, at the end of LIV, the champion drinks milk. It's pretty cool.
Every stop they do a different, different gimmick,
Yeah.
for the
Different.
locals.
That's cool.
I respect.
I'm not gonna make fun of it. All right. I love golf talk, but we have a little football talk on tap for us. Our good friend Harry Douglas
Hell yeah.
has been waiting patiently while we talk about golf. Thank you for joining us. Former Falcons receiver, former superstar. Thank you for hanging with us today. Do you have any golf takes before we get to football?
No, I'm not much of a golfer, although I just finished playing in Jim Kelly's charity golf tournament, Kelly for Kids, up in Batavia, New York.
Okay.
And man, I probably, out of all the holes, I probably hit the ball correctly 3 to 4 times.
Okay,
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Start.
That's not bad.
How do you play
Yeah, it's a
18
start.
holes like that?
What do you mean?
I mean,
It's called drinking.
You're familiar with it,
Duh.
aren't you, Ian?
I've heard of this. I've heard of this. Yes. All right. Now this is good. Now we're on the same page. This is great. I actually don't love to drink when I play golf. But
Dunked on you,
Yeah,
dude.
boy, oh boy. How's that hardwood taste, Rap Sheet?
That was as bad as it gets. Let's just be real. Harry, as you were coming on, as you were waiting, we got the news that Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback for the Browns. First of all, your reaction to that, and second of all, what do you think now happens to the rest of that quarterback room? Kenny Pickett included.
Yes. So number one, starting with Joe Flacco, it's exactly what I expected to happen. Him be the starter for week one. Now, the reason why I would have went this route as well, when you look at their schedule, it's pretty daunting to start off. And the last thing you want to do is to have a rookie quarterback say, man, I got to keep up with all these teams that we have to play. Joe Burrow is week one, I believe. In that mix, you have Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens and so on and so on. So I felt like Joe Flacco was the guy for the job week one. Now, at some point, gradually, you have to figure out if, is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders with the 2 first-round picks in 2026? But at the same time, when you look at the number 2 quarterback, now that's up for grabs. Now, I thought Dylan Gabriel this weekend in his first preseason game had a solid showing outside of the turnovers. And I don't want to downplay those because if Shedeur Sanders would have threw a pick 6 or Shedeur Sanders would have fumbled the football trying to hand the ball off to the running back, then there would be a lot of people right here today crucifying him. Now, Dylan Gabriel did some great things, going 3 for 3 on third downs in the first drive, throwing the ball in tight windows where only his receiver can catch it. Yes, all those things are great. But at the quarterback position, the main thing that you're supposed to do is take care of the football. I know in every offensive meeting that I got up to or I was in during my 10 years playing, the number one must that week was no turnovers, take care of the football.
Yeah.
And then for a guy who touches it every single play, you got to be able to do that. So, between the 2 performances, I will give the edge to Shedeur Sanders because he didn't turn the football over.
Okay.
And that's something that I'm not going to take lightly.
Now, Harry, before you were on, we got a little bit of news, another very important piece of quarterback news. The boys are going to have some questions for you in a second, but I want to get to this. Matthew Stafford practiced today. He was on the practice field. You can see him now looking good, throwing some deep balls to Devante and Puka. You're watching this now. You've obviously seen that Stafford is on the practice field. You've been following along like all of us. What do you think when you see this right here in front of you?
Well, number one, yesterday was Sunday, so God answered a lot of prayers for Rams. That's the first damn thing that comes to my mind. But this is a great sign because, Friday I was concerned that Matthew Stafford, well, more than concerned, I was alarmed that he hadn't practiced up until that point. And when you have 2 receivers like Devante Adams and also Puka Nacua, and for a guy like Matthew Stafford, does he need those reps? 1,000%? No, but you would love for him to get reps with the number 1A and 1B receiver that he does have because I picked the Los Angeles Rams to have the number 1 seed in the NFC as a conference this season. When you look at their schedule, everyone talks about the 49ers and their schedule, how easy it is. Well, San Fran only played 4 games against teams that made the playoffs last year. The Rams only played 5 games versus teams who made the playoffs last season. So this is a team I felt like gotten better since last year. And if it wasn't for, Jalen Carter dismantling an offensive lineman, we might be talking about a different story within the Philadelphia Eagles going and winning the Super Bowl last year. So I really like the Rams and where they are right now as a football team. But the catalyst to it all has to be Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position, who can still make every single throw on the field.
Yeah, and it really feels like the conversation. Like now that we'll see tomorrow if Stafford. We'll hear from McVay. We'll get his schedule and see kind of like how hard they're going to, push the button on him, basically. But just him being on the field for me feels like the conversation has now changed. Like you see him, he's functional. He throws like. I think the Rams are going to be really, really, really good. And now that he is at least back practicing, that can sort of kick off and keep us going in that direction. I know the boys.
But Ian, let me say this though.
Oh, yes.
Here's the catcher though.
Go ahead.
It's a good sign that he's out there practicing and he's throwing, but it's also imperative that he doesn't have setbacks, right? That's the big thing when it comes to a back injury.
Right. That's a good call.
Especially when you're that old.
Boys have some questions for you. Tone, go ahead.
Yeah, Harry, good to see you. Reminds me that week 0 is this week. We are basically back to football. But I wanted to ask you about your Falcons. Penix has not played in the preseason, but I know they've had at least two joint practices with two different teams so far. So he's got his work in there. How do you feel about Penix and the Falcons this year? Because I thought he looked really good at the end of last season. And then have you heard anything about those two young boys coming off the edge that are gonna be the difference this year for their defense?
So let me say this about Michael Penix first. Last year was the bird call, right? When my Falcons were winning games. This year, Michael Penix Jr. is the quarterback. Here comes the gunslinger. Here comes the gunslinger. Get ready, baby. They're gonna be fireworks all over the place. So what I love the most about Michael Penix Jr. is you always want your quarterback to be cool, calm, and collected. He is extremely that in the pocket. You also want your quarterback to throw dimes and be able to make every single throw on the football field. Short, intermediate, deep, outside the numbers. He's pinpoint accurate. He does those things as well. I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to be able to unlock Kyle Pitts Jr. And that's exactly what all of us have been waiting on. Kyle Pitts to be unlocked. And those two guys being very, very close golfing buddies as well. I think that's the last thing when you talk about this Falcons offense is Kyle Pitts really coming along and having a season even better than he did his rookie year. That's the only year he had for 1,000 yards receiving, but that's also the year that he had competent quarterback play with Matt Ryan as well. So I'm looking for a big year for Kyle Pitts, also for Michael Penix Jr. And you look at this defense, that's the chess piece. Because 3 of the last 4 years, 31st, 32nd, and sacking the quarterback. Ooh. That's why you draft a Jalen Walker in the first round. You give up your 2026 pick with the Rams, and you go and get a James Pierce Jr. Those guys are going to have to be ferocious, and I don't think they have time to ease into it because a lot of people are telling me that the Falcons need to catch up to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are people forgetting that the Atlanta Falcons had like a 3 or 4 game lead in the NFC South last season? And if it wasn't for Kirk Cousins throwing 9 interceptions and just 1 touchdown in like 4 games, we're talking about a different story in the NFC South. True. So a lot of people are forgetting that the Falcons had a 3 or 4 game lead in that division on top of beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if that defense, and you don't have to be world beaters, you don't have to be great, but you have to be able to not allow the quarterback for the opposing team to be comfortable in the pocket. And we all know, D-Buzz, you know this. Yep. The pass rush and the secondary go hand to hand. Oh, yeah. If you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, I don't care who you have in your secondary. They're not going to be able to cover for 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah, speaking of the guys that are going to have to get covered, a lot of rookie wide receivers. I know you're tapped in the college football game and obviously NFL. A lot of rookie wide receivers going to be on the board. You know, Travis Hunter, Matthew Golden out to Green Bay, Ibuka down in Tampa Bay, T-Mac in Carolina. Who do you, I guess, expect the most out of this year early on? I think only Golden, I would expect to probably be wide receiver 1, and maybe T-Mac down in Carolina. The other guys have other counterparts, but who's kind of in that best position that you expect the most production going into this year?
I'm going to go with Matthew Golden for Green Bay because finally, Jordan Love has a number 1 wide receiver. This is a guy that for the last 6 games at Texas last year, he led Texas in receiving yards, and he was their big play guy. SEC championship, big games down the stretch. It was Matthew Golden that Quinn Ewers went to time and time again. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He has the size, he has the speed, he has the explosiveness. He's a hands catcher. He's strong at the catch point as well. So I'm really looking forward to him taking the top off and also intermediate on crucial downs, 3rd and 3 to 5, 3rd and 6 and 7, running that slant, catching the ball strong with his hands, not worried about the safety hitting him. Looking forward to Matthew Golden. Here's another chess piece guy that I'm looking at too. When you look at the New England Patriots and Josh McDaniels going there, and you go back to his history being the offensive coordinator for the Patriots,
I know where this is.
It was always that slot guy, right, that really got off. So they drafted a receiver in the 3rd round by the name of Kyle Williams.
Oh, hell yeah.
Kyle Williams is the guy that I really, really love. He's like a human joystick, but when the football's in the air, he's accelerating, going to get it. If he can get the playbook down and show Drake May that he can be trusted, Kyle Williams is another guy that I'm high on.
Okay.
I like it.
Love it.
Let's stick in the receiver world. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Harry, we've been talking ad nauseum about the Terry McLaurin situation and how, he's been kind of like the poster child, consummate professional face of the franchise for Washington. back when they were dog shit, not just last year, when they went to the NFC Championship. What do you ultimately think is going to happen with this situation? It seems like they're, a couple $1 million apart on where he sees himself and what Washington is willing to pay him. What do you think is going to happen with this? And do you think, there's no way that Washington can go where they want to go without Terry McLaurin this year, right?
Yeah, so first things first, this might be one of the dumbest situations in the National Football League right now.
From whose
You're talking
standpoint?
about from the front office of the Commanders.
Okay.
Like you have a guy in Terry McLaurin who is your number one wide receiver. They were sixth and third downs last year in converting. They were first on fourth downs. So if I'm Cliff Kingsbury, if I'm Dan Quinn, if I know we go for it on fourth down frequently, do you think I want to go for it if I don't have my number one wide receiver out there with my quarterback? I have Jaden Daniels as my number one guy to win MVP. But if Terry McLaurin's not out there, I don't have Jaden Daniels as my number one guy. And here's another part to it. Jaden Daniels was so good last season. He covered up for a lot of deficiencies that the Commanders actually had. Why would you add another deficiency to Jaden Daniels and put that on his plate if he doesn't have a number one wide receiver? He already led the team in rushing last season at the quarterback position. The defense was 30th versus the run. That's something a lot of people don't talk about. He covered up for all these deficiencies at the quarterback position. Why would you put one more thing on his plate by not allowing him to have his number one wide receiver? And for a guy like Terry McLaurin, who had 82, 83 catches, 56 of those catches went for first downs, fellas. So my thinking is, why would you not pay Terry McLaurin for the next 3 years and extend him when you have this window of your quarterback being on a rookie contract? I think Jaden Daniels the next 3 years totaling, I think the total is like $31 million he's counting against the cap. Why not capitalize on this opportunity right now? Because no, they're not contending for anything, in my opinion, if Terry McLaurin is not out there on the football field with Jaden Daniels.
Well, the other thing I keep thinking is, like you mentioned, the runs, and there were times last year, it was late in this, it was in the playoffs. There was a couple games late in the season into the playoffs where he got hit, and each time he got hit, I'm like, oh God, and not just because I'm someone who reports on injuries, but also like, can we just keep this guy healthy? And so what you would sort of think is fewer runs this year, and more spreading it around to the weapons, but that's one of the best weapons, and
they need to get Terry.
Yeah,
need gotta have, especially if you go and trade for a guy like Debo. Like, if from a defensive back standpoint, if Terry's on the field, that makes Debo 10 times more dangerous because you can't really focus in on him. And he's a guy you get the ball in his hands. And you mentioned the fourth downs. Like, they also do a lot of hurry up. A lot of hurry up, a lot of fourth down, keeps the offense off balance. But how important, for the people that don't know, are these reps? I know Terry's a savvy vet, but he only played 1 year, 1 season with Jaden Daniels. How important are these training camp reps for a wide receiver and a quarterback?
On the scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say 11.
Okay.
Because at the quarterback position, right? You want to have that rapport with your number one wide receiver. Now, they had it last season, but remember, it didn't start off that way. It gradually worked into that. But if my number one guy isn't practicing the entire offseason because he's dealing with the contract situation, he's not going to be ready to go full throttle week one. How? That's humanly impossible. There's nothing that anyone can do away from football to get in game shape. And D-Bus, you know this. There's nothing a player can do to get in shape at home that he can do going against his guys every single day in practice.
Yep.
So just him not out there doing that, I think when he does come back and he practice, once he gets his contract, you're not going to be able to put him out there for an entire game and play take the bulk of the load that he's normally taking, I would say. But also, guys, I would ask y'all this. Who else on that roster from a receiver position, and I'm saying this with in a humble way, who is the guy that y'all think that could line up and be the number one wide receiver against a team's number one corner and get open frequently?
Maybe just Luke McCaffrey. That's the only guy I can really think of. But no, honestly, I was looking at their depth chart earlier. Like, right now, it's Terry. Noah Brown is hurt, correct? Debo, Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey, and Jalen Lane, the rookie out of Virginia Tech. That's really they need to.
Well, Harry, we got one more. I know Boston Connor wants to get to you, but for Terry, now he has been practicing. He has been practicing by himself. He's been now he's slowly ramping up. how long do you think it takes to get him from right now, which is like kind of been doing some work, to like ready on the field, let's go?
2.5, 3 weeks.
Okay.
Think about this, y'all. A receiver runs 60 yards, doesn't get the ball, runs back 60 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
Receiver could run 20 yards, catch a bench route, a deep out. Okay, then you got it. But they go no huddle though too now. So this is a tempo type offense. So all these things you have to factor in when it comes to being in game shape with Terry McLaurin at the wide receiver position.
All right, one more for you.
Yeah, Harry, I love what you said about Kyle Williams. I'm a Patriots fan. I think what you really need to, and I'm sure you probably already know him, but this guy's taking over. His name's Efton Chisholm. You mentioned Josh McDaniel offenses, a huge key to those offenses. Small, no-name, white guy catching passes that no one's ever heard of
vaguely
before.
Familiar.
And that is who Efton Chisholm is, but also undrafted guy. But aside from that, looking at you over there, you got that Louisville Cardinal above your head. A guy that you started college with, Tyler Shuck, is currently in a QB battle in New Orleans. What's the word
So mean, but
you're
true.
hearing about Tyler Shuck? And realistically, if you're a Saints fan and you're looking at this season, I mean, we already talked about the Falcons. We mentioned Tampa. Things in Carolina seem to be turning around. What really are you kind of looking for if you're just a Saints fan going into this year with Kelly Moe in his first year?
So number one, if I'm Kellen Moore and the season started today, Spencer Rattler would be the quarterback that I start.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because when you look at Shug, you see some great things. Last week he had the pick six and then came right back, double move through the touchdown pass. But even yesterday versus Jacksonville, you see moments where he might be holding the football a little too long, right? And that's just what you can't do in this league. Caleb Williams has understood that now with Ben Johnson coaching him. If you want to be productive in this league, you got to go through your reads precisely, right? You have to throw with anticipation. The minute you sit there and you're like, then that's when you're going to get sacked. That's when forced fumbles happen. So I just thought from the standpoint of Spencer Rattler, I thought he looked better in yesterday's performance. Let's see what the third preseason game gives us. But, Tyler Shug, he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. I just think right now I will go with Spencer Rattler as my starting quarterback.
And at least if you do that, like you can say, all right, like, not that you want to bench Spencer Rattler, but you could do it. You could say, all right, bring on the rookie. It's time to do it the other way. Seems more challenging, right? Yes. Like to do it the other way.
Yep. Same with AR and Dan Jones.
That's
damn near.
That's I mean, that's exactly right. Because when you do that, it's like, how do you
go back again?
Kill his confidence.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Harry, great stuff. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the talk. Thank you for the knowledge. And I would say we will talk to you soon. I'm sure these guys will talk to you very soon.
Yeah.
I might not, but then again, I might. So thank you, man. Great stuff. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Also, Ian, don't be scared. Don't be scared to drink on the golf course, man. It's okay.
I'm not saying I don't.
You won't be crucified for it.
I'm not saying I don't.
He's got a flask
fair.
behind the mic right now.
His kid's driving him to the airport. He's only 12.
This is like Happy Gilmore, where it's like drinking out of it.
Exactly. Boom. The mic turns into boom.
Yeah, there you go.
I appreciate the words of advice. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Harry.
Come on, boy, Harry.
You guys are right. I do have. That was great stuff, by the way.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Receiver. I mean, that was.
It's locked in.
Yeah, locked in.
Ready for
Locked in.
season.
I also appreciated the Tyler Shook Louisville line.
Yeah.
Good
I do have my son Max here. You guys mention it. Can I bring him up to say hello? You guys okay with that real quick?
He ain't my boy.
Come here, Max. Come here.
Come on, Maxwell.
Come on, man.
Max is 12.
It's not his first
As you
time
guys
on the show.
know, he has been in Fiji at sleepaway camp. Max, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
How you doing, Max?
What's up, Max?
Good work, Max.
He has been. I promised him a year ago that I would take him on a trip to Indianapolis for the Pat McAfee Show, not knowing whether or not I would be back here.
Sure.
Nice.
So now I have the opportunity. He's back from summer camp.
He's very polite.
He
I'll
is
say that.
Yeah, he is.
I would not say that.
He's good at it.
Good kid.
He's all right. His mother did a very nice job.
Yeah, he's definitely polite.
Not
but
you. No one said it was
Right.
you.
I mean, I'm spend most of my time holed up in my basement making phone calls, yelling at people to give me scoops.
Yeah. No, he's very, very polite, very kind boy.
Have you learned anything here today?
Were you paying attention? Be honest.
No.
No.
Okay.
What was your favorite moment from camp?
What?
From camp.
What was your favorite moment from camp?
When your parents ship you away for 3 months.
7. Yeah. My
wasn't
favorite
literal.
moment was probably doing the regatta in the camp-wide color war thing.
Oh, you got a regatta. That's what you used to say back.
One first place.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. No big deal. All right.
All right. Thank you, Max.
Hell
I love
yeah,
you, buddy.
Max. That baby's Max. Good boy, Max.
So is he destined for like the Navy now?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what. That's actually really mean. No, I think about this all the time. Like, I have 2 kids. They play sports. Like, both are pretty good athletes. And I think about all the time, like, all right, what would I do if one of them is, like, great, right? Like, so, like, we're raising him. He's 8, he's 9. He's playing. All of a sudden, he's, like, the best in the world. It's like, how would I do that?
Yeah.
And I've never really wondered about that with once I've realized, I mean, these guys are good athletes, but they're not, you know. And now Max is a great sailor. It's like, what if I have to turn him on to, like,
Well, you were a great sailor too.
well,
You got to get an oar in the boy's hand.
Do I
He's
thought about
He's
that.
got
Does he
rowing
know?
crew in his
Yeah.
blood.
Does he know about your coxman history?
not Koshman. He does know, and he loves nature, and he loves being out. And so crew is amazing because you're out there in, like, the world.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, I think it would be great for him.
Build a boathouse in your backyard.
We live in a town that does have water.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Right.
and they do have some yacht clubs and some other sailing things. They have a good crew.
I mean, the Northeast, for shoot, I know we're kind of joking around, but the Northeast for rowing is like a very, very, high school rowing, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's like a damn near a pipeline. It's really just California and the Northeast.
Yeah. I mean, I think about it as a parent who would love to send their child to, like, the greatest school you could possibly, like, just be a rower.
Yeah, actually.
I was
Duquesne?
I was going to say Iowa actually has a fantastic rowing team.
Really?
Yeah, boathouse is beautiful.
Is this like the Flacco accent thing?
No, I'm dead serious.
The Flacco accent thing is real, and so is the Iowa boathouse.
Yeah. I used to power wash the deck on that thing all the time in the summer.
Did you actually?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's real. I think he's.
See, right. This is what I'm saying.
They don't have a men's team,
but this is the
unfortunately, because of Title IX. But,
Ugh.
it is, they do have women.
No, against Georgia. Iowa's the Hawkeyes.
That's right.
Yes. So anyway, Max is here hanging out. He has been paying, I would say, not very much attention to the show.
No, he doesn't like
No, he paid a good amount of attention. He was letting us know how much time we had left before the break was over, and that really pissed me off. So it was definitely fun. Someone should tell him I'm going to beat the hell out of his dad if he keeps talking.
That sounds about right.
He's been loading his gullet full of Taco Bell and playing mini clip games on his laptop. He's acting like a normal 12-year-old.
He did say to me before the show started, he was like, everyone's kind of like running around before the show. And I'm like, yeah, that's like,
Yeah,
That's
that's kind of how it goes.
literally what it is.
Controlled chaos, son.
Controlled chaos.
You guys actually missed the best chaos.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but it's fun. Fun morning.
there was a
Fun Monday morning.
There's a
you're right.
big old storm this weekend here in Indianapolis. High winds, high lightning, high electricity.
Yeah, let's just say 4 hours ago we were not going to be able to do a show. So
Actually, seriously.
And there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot
dead
of
serious.
roads around.
Yeah, that's actually apologies to the start of the show because our ears were hearing some ringing noise. So hopefully no one else did, but like that's how bad it was. Everything got shut down.
Before
so-
you got here, I'd say we were up on the stage for probably like an hour and 10 minutes testing everything, and the boys in the back were basically just scrambling to try to fix everything.
These guys were sweating back there because they were running around plugging stuff in.
Yeah,
It was-
Zito rebuilt the whole studio.
Good work, boys.
Shout out, boys.
Which is
Yeah.
Great job, boys.
great job. Great job.
Mitt had an unexposed wire in one hand and an unexposed wire in his other.
Yeah.
And the currency was just flowing through him. That's kind of how we got to
So we just told him to put them in his mouth and just stand in there. So he's just got 2 wires hanging out.
I just, of all of the things that, like, I exist in a world basically full of chaos. Like, I'm doing this show now and my phone is buzzing and it could be literally anything.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm used to that. When the weather screws things up, I want to lose my mind.
Yeah, it is.
Like my training camp tour, which was like 16 flights in 16 days, every day was like, how's the weather going to screw up my day? Like, and I can't.
Did it?
Yeah.
It's a real pain in the ass, especially when, weather cancels baseball games.
That does stink.
It does.
We're trying to connect the jet.
Okay,
We're gonna
that's
talk.
fine. Okay.
We're gonna. Yeah, that was good. I noticed that too. We're gonna talk a little baseball. We are gonna talk a little baseball, not just because we got literally going on the main thing and we're on the other thing, but also because it's baseball season and my Mets are they're gonna be better. They're going to be better.
Have you gone to any games?
Next year?
I've been to a couple games, yeah.
Did you use SeatGeek to buy your tickets?
So what happens
is... you did. With over 30 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so the green dots, green means good, red means bad. Week 0 is coming. $30 off all tickets with code PAT. That's just code PAT, P-A-T, $30 off tickets. But remember, Rapture, if tickets like $28, they're not going to give you $2 so you can go to a game. Okay,
they're not, or they are.
They're not. You're not going to. No. Restrictions apply to the $30.
Yeah,
so
move yourself down to the field level and then get $30 off that one.
Bingo. Yes.
So that sounds like a great company.
Yeah, SeatGeek's to go.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Use it for
Sometimes
everything.
what I do is I call people and they give me tickets.
Oh, you schmoozing?
It's a good move too.
But you can't really go to games, can you? Because you have to. I mean, you kind of fall into that.
You can't even
category.
take a shower. Remember?
It's so. I mean, I take a shower, but the phone is in the shower. I missed. What did I miss when I was in the shower? Because at my house, I have like a stand. It's so idiotic. I have a stand for my phone in the shower.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so sometimes people will call me and I answer every phone call.
Yeah.
Except sometimes like Pat will FaceTime me, which that does not get answered.
Sure. Smart.
Right. But it's like when I was at training camp, I didn't have my shower stand, so I missed the Kyron Williams contract extension immediate because of the shower.
Rap.
One person who also showers with his phone, I assume, I don't know. Let's ask him. Our good friend, Jeff Passan.
Yeah, baby.
Joining us on the Pat McAfee Show. Jeff, thank you for joining us.
What kind of loser has a stand for his phone in the shower?
I knew that was coming.
Is this not what people do? Yes! I knew it! See, this was like the Flacco.
Oh, dude, I have
take me through it. Give us it. Take it through it.
Yeah, I listen, you have to adjust the shower head just so, because it's the little droplets that you worry about, like getting into the bottom of the phone right there, that can blow the whole thing up. So you got to make sure that that's up against like a side and covered, and you got to sort of angle the shower head so that the blowback isn't too bad. And yeah, I have broken news in the shower before. I'm not proud of it, but kind of proud of it.
But you guys are the best at what you do.
That's right.
I appreciate you guys saying that. You should be proud of it though, because like, why
I'm
would
not
we
proud.
not?
Because it's embarrassing. What kind of lives do we lead where we have to take our phones into the shower? Like, that's terrible. That's not quality of life.
It's the world we live in. God help us all.
I just feel bad for the fans who would miss out on having news 30 seconds before they otherwise would, just so I can shower. Like, they deserve the news. Anyway.
Yeah, and there's no other newsbreakers that would break it.
I hate all of you.
Well, no, there's that dog, Ricky.
Ricky the dog, baby.
He's probably going to be tweeting at me.
He is
now.
a dog.
Jeff, so first of all, thank you.
Hold on. Do you compete with the dog for news?
Yeah.
I compete with everyone.
There's
people. There's landmines all over. It's the whole internet.
He out-scooped Rap this weekend, actually. You can admit it. He did.
Oh my God. Joins a long list of dogs who have out-scooped me. So I'm a Mets fan. I love baseball. I'm a Mets fan. I did watch last night. No, it's good. We're in a good place now, starting this weekend. Are my Mets going to be okay? Please tell me my Mets are going to be okay. I saw we called up one of our top prospects for the minors. That was very good. Is help on the way? Did we do enough at the trade deadline? Are my Mets going to be okay?
I think if they're going to be okay, it's more because the rest of the National League is just kind of mid, and they could back their way in. I will say this: Nolan McLean coming up was really good for them, and not just because he threw 5 1/3 shutout in his first start, but because the Mets were 45-24 Ian, on the strength of their starting pitching. And their starting pitching in pretty much the same number of games since then has been among the worst in Major League Baseball. On top of that, their bullpen has been leaky. The top of their lineup is great. It's going to continue to be, like, to me, their biggest strength when you've got Lindor and Soto and Alonso and Nimmo. Like, they got guys who can hit up there, but if they want to win in the postseason, they need to stabilize their pitching. And I don't anticipate that we're going to see a whole lot from the prospect ranks beyond Nolan McLean.
So I'm not getting Jonathan.
Probably not. He's thrown a lot of innings this season, struck out a lot of dudes. He is probably more like a May, depending on how the offseason goes, I would anticipate him being like a May 2026 guy. There's a chance he breaks camp with the team. I mean, if the Mets really feel like he's got a good chance to win Rookie of the Year, in Major League Baseball, if you are a top 100 prospect, you start the season with the team and you have a full year of service there, and you get top 2 in Rookie of the Year, you get a draft pick. So, the incentive to bring a guy up before the season is strong in that regard. And it's why you see a guy like Sam Basayo with the Baltimore Orioles not coming up until after August 15th, because he maintains his rookie eligibility, having less than 45 days on the big league roster and in all likelihood fewer than 130 plate appearances. So he will still be eligible for that prospect promotion incentive pick next year.
Interesting. All right, that's enough nerd Met stuff for me. There's been some really fascinating macro Major League Baseball issues that we want to get to. Ty Schmidt has a question for you.
Yeah, Jet, I don't know if this is just kind of like a known thing, but it was kind of shocking when the commissioner of MLB, Rob Manfred, last night basically said, like, hey, yeah, expansion is coming, and we're also going to have to look at kind of reformatting the divisions and everything, where potentially in a world, the Yankees and the Mets will be in the same division, maybe with Boston and, Philly. Who knows how they're going to do it. Was this expected? We know this was coming this soon. And what kind of timeline could this potentially be? Because hearing that last night, I genuinely was like, holy shit, I didn't realize this was so close on the horizon.
Let's start with the timeline, Ty, because that's the most important thing here. This is at minimum 4 years off. Okay. I think there is a possibility, and all of this goes according to, do the A's move to Las Vegas as planned and expected? And what of the Tampa Bay Rays? They just are in the process of selling right now, so the likelihood is that they will remain there. There would be 2 expansion teams if owners go forward with it. And look, owners want the $2+ billion expansion fee that they're going to get. At the same time, they also understand that this next television contract after 2028 that they expect to sign, that they want to cover everything in baseball, not just national TV for the World Series and for the postseason, the All-Star Game, and other things like that, but they want it to be all of the local television rights as well, and to pool those and get an enormous number that they can then distribute out to every team. So they have to get their ducks in a row, but expansion just makes sense because of the windfall that would come from those expansion fees being redistributed out to all the other teams. And listen, I think Nashville is almost a shoe-in at this point.
Yes.
You've also got Salt Lake City, which has really impressed people at MLB, and they've got ownership in place. They've got a stadium plan in place. Des Moines is not going to be, but Midwest represent. Yeah, don't talk shit on the Midwest. I don't want to hear a single word from your obnoxious coastal ass.
He's from
as if the Midwest is any less worthy of baseball than you turds out on the coast. Anyway, beyond that, the realignment thing to me is the most interesting part of it, because the question is, what does Major League Baseball want? Does it want to realign into 8 divisions with 4 teams each? Or does it want to radically realign to 8 divisions with 4 teams each? And the radical sort of realignment that I'm thinking of is putting the Yankees and the Mets in the same division. It is putting the Dodgers and the Angels in the same division. It is putting the Cubs and the White Sox.
Geographically.
And the idea of destroying the it's it's going to be within the realm of possibility. When you are talking about realignment, that makes sense. And Rob Manfred, I don't think it was an accident. He talked about geographical realignment. When you assign the word geography to realignment, what else would you think other than they're going to find those little metropolitan area pockets And that Northeast pocket right there with the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Mets, and the Philadelphia Phillies, or potentially you could do...
These are all the good teams.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, listen, I know, but beyond that, the issue to me that is really at hand here, are we going to have an American League and a National League, and is it going to look anything like it has historically? Like, baseball fans have been willing to accept a lot over these last few years, and I think most of the moves, frankly, have been great. I adore the pitch clock. I think it's fantastic. I think ABS, the challenge system with automated balls and strikes, is going to be a net positive. But, man, if you do anything to mess up what has been in place since the advent of the game and the lens through which fans view that and the rivalries that exist right now, I think there will be significant pushback on MLB if they entertain the idea that there cannot be a New York versus New York World Series. If they were to split up the Cubs and the Cardinals from the same division. Like, it's crazy. When they realign, guys, they're going to have to be judicious, thoughtful, and understanding of these things that fans hold so dear.
God, I hate the Yankees so much. I would hate them even more if we played them more, but that just seems...
Well, it weakens how special it is when the Yankees and Mets play each other right now. But I guess that's
Right.
that's the Jeff's point. You know, it's like, hey, that's just something you're going to have to get over with. And
I mean, I got over, like, pitch clock has been amazing. Like, Manfred has been controversial and I think really, really good in a lot of ways. Like, pitch clock, I don't know about saving baseball, but that has been an all-time win.
Helps.
So, like, I don't know. I want to talk about one of my favorite Mets who no longer is a member of the Mets. Tone Diggs has a question for you.
Yeah, Jeff, you reported yesterday that Zach Wheeler has a blood clot near his shoulder. I believe went on the 15-day IL. I mean, the Phillies are, I believe they're second right now in odds to win the World Series. Do we have any more information on Wheeler? Because this would be a ginormous blow for them in their World Series hopes.
Yeah, they're doing more testing right now, and they are going to reassess and try and figure out, is this something that can be mitigated? Is this something that can be fixed before the end of the season? I mean, if he were to need to go on blood thinners, for example, the likelihood would be that his season is over, but we're not there at this point. Regardless, not having Zach Wheeler changes things for the Phillies because... they went out and got Joan Duran at the trade deadline, and that was a really good move for them. It gave them that closer that they desperately needed, particularly with Jose Alvarado out for the postseason after a positive PED test. But if the Phillies were going to win, it was going to be because they rode their starting pitching. It was going to be because Zach Wheeler was there in Game 1, and Christopher Sanchez, who has been every bit as good as the best pitchers in baseball this year, was going to be pitching Game 2. And they could go with Ranger Suarez or Aaron Nola. Like, they have a deep, deep starting pitching roster, which is going to allow them to be okay without Zach Wheeler. Will it allow them to be great? That's the question, and something to keep an eye on. I'll be curious to see if they call up Andrew Painter, among the top pitching prospects in baseball, a guy who just was off limits in trade talks at the deadline.
God, I used to love Zach Wheeler as a member of the Mets. I don't like him so much anymore, but this is the worst, and you hate it, and I don't know where the answers are, and there's been a couple of these in football. Christian Barmore has been one.
Yeah.
Trace Smith coming out was certainly a blood clot question. The Chiefs figured it out, and he has been one of the best players in football, so it is possible, but you just hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Wheeler is... Mets never should have let him go, but he is awesome. And
it happened with Wemby in basketball this year, too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dave Andrews.
Dame Lillard, too, right?
Dame Lillard.
Yeah. That's right.
Anyway, clotting.
Jeff, great stuff. Thank you very much. Appreciate you hanging out with us. I kind of wish you would give me a small bit more Mets like positivity, especially after the big win last night in front of all the Little League kids who were trying to trash talk Pete Alonso, which was ridiculous, but they literally were screaming in his face despite that he's Pete Alonso when they're not. But you're
Rap, can I say one more thing just as long as we're being negative now? Gumpy, how tall are you?
Breck and Jeff are 6'3". All right, take it easy, Jet. All right, relax.
I mean, bro.
Those are two legendary footy players, brother. 6'3". I stood next to you,
not
Jet.
Fair.
Come on.
That's not fair.
Gumpy, they may be 6'3", but you make them look 7 foot. like that. Oompa Loompa.
Not standing on a box like you, Jet.
I cannot stand
See you
for
tomorrow.
Loompa
See you, Jeff. Thank you.
Loompa-dee-doo. Gumpy is too
Oh, my God.
short. Sorry. All right. See you guys.
Good fit,
Holy
It's a
shit.
good pickup.
Good fit to be fair.
I was kind of mean that he dunked on Gumpy like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of all things to do it, I mean,
Also,
come
you're
on.
underselling the height of those two. I think they're taller than 6'3".
They're definitely taller than 6'3", and Gumpy, you snuck it in there, but
Jet's no skyscraper.
Jet ain't 8 feet tall either.
I've stood next to Jet at a basketball game. You know, he's not towering everybody.
Isn't he
anybody
my
in his
height?
flip flop.
Yeah, you're taller
I mean,
than Jet.
so I'm. We hung out at.
That's not fair. Burn 7 feet.
That
I was
is
gonna say.
ridiculous. Where? I mean, what? how
Jet's on a box there
That's
too.
not fair.
Jet's
That's not
definitely on
fair.
a box.
Boomer played left tackle in the NFL for 28 years.
Yeah,
Sorry, he's 7
so-
feet, weighs 475 pounds.
Now, Kirkshin, on the other hand, weapon.
Kirkshin is not very tall.
Kirkshin's an old man. Okay,
That's true.
in his heyday, he
Is he
was
that?
6'1". He shrank a little bit.
Yeah,
over
now
the
he's
years.
5'4".
The thing I always heard about
Maybe.
Kirkshin, and I'm pretty sure this is true,
He's
is that
the
when,
goat. Yeah, it is true.
You know what I'm gonna say?
No,
Timmy K.
no,
yeah.
he said he's the
he's
goat.
the goat.
He is the goat. He is a great basketball player.
I,
Like
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, play-
No, like
no, he was like
so
he was like
the,
Bob
Bob
Cousy.
Cousy, yeah.
The
Twice
rumor,
in high
the
school.
rumor,
Both of you
like,
watch
know.
your fucking mouth.
It was a
all right?
battle.
You see this trophy right here?
Yeah.
Bobby won.
Why
eight
is
of
that
these.
trophy still sitting there?
What is that trophy?
Because-
Did you guys 3D print that?
Oh, you
Oh, it's
probably
Larry
don't know.
O.
No, you need to ship that shit to OKC.
Oh,
brother.
you don't know? You should know. When you win a title, you keep the
Yeah,
trophy.
I
The
get
next
it.
team gets a different one.
I know, but it just
I
misrepresentation.
know, but for the show, it feels like it
Yeah.
shouldn't be sitting up there.
Well, that sucks, boys, because it is.
Yeah.
What were you
So-
saying about Kirkshin though? He's like a dog
No,
on the
so
b-ball
this
court.
so in my
revolutionized the game.
in my previous life,
Call
I was
the
an
glove.
intern at ESPN Classic,
Wow.
like a long time ago.
Yeah, that was Channel
Between-
48
I used
for
to
me.
love that channel.
It,
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
it
awesome.
was for me. It was so cool. So I was between junior and senior year of college. I was the one intern for ESPN Classic, and what I did was do like log tape and do work for their Sports Century documentaries.
Sure.
And so I worked on the Billie Jean King documentary,
Classic.
where I developed a crush on Billie Jean King.
Yeah.
Which then, when I met her at a Mets game, I said, I had a big crush on you when I was like 20 from watching all these old tapes. And she said, I wish I had met you sooner, which is one of the greatest lines I've ever had
Hey.
anyone tell me ever in history.
That is
Casanova.
sweet. You,
For many
how
reasons.
pumped are you? when
I
that
mean,
happened?
it was the great. I was
How
like,
many people did you text?
everyone I know.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the Cal Ripken Sports Century. And so I heard from Kirk that Cal Ripken would have like pick up basketball games and Kirkshin would just kill everyone. He was like the best point guard.
You reach, I teach. He used to be saying that all day long to people.
Slapping the
Is that right?
slapping
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
I gotta see the Timmy K tapes.
Yeah.
I mean you had some game.
Yeah, but I'm no Tim.
The internet is telling me this is true.
I mean,
The internet saying it's true? Yeah.
the crossover from Timmy K.
Yeah. See ya. all the time.
What did he say when he hit that corner three to win the league championship for?
Yeah, it was something like, you can't sniff my jockstrap, bitch. He said, I think he said it to Cal Ripken.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was chirping Ripken.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did the big ball dance all the way down
Who
the
is
court.
this?
Tim Kirkshin.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you know what Tim Kirkshin sounds like or no?
Yes, I for sure did.
Then how the hell did you just ask who is this?
Because I didn't know if you guys were punking me again like you did previously. Since we've been talking,
Has
Sean
this been a
McVay.
stressful show for you just because there's so much news that could break very soon and you just
Wow.
aren't staring
Look
at
at,
it?
I mean, that is.
Is that
Look,
Jerry
look at his
Seinfeld?
hair.
Holy shit.
That
You
is
mean
amazing.
Jamie Hurley? Yeah.
The kicks are clean, both
Yeah.
of them.
Look how sweaty Ripken is. I like
Yeah.
how that is Ripken.
They're going hard.
You can look at a freeze
Yes,
frame
it is.
and know if you got a hoop or not. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Bingo.
Boom, one more dribble, spun back to the right,
Yeah.
fade away off the glass.
Yeah,
It's
McConnell.
guaranteed
Yeah.
bucket.
And
Jeez.
yeah, I mean that's.
So Kirkshin was a dog on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Played with John Shire.
I was telling someone this the other day. One of my great regrets in life is that I have no basketball game whatsoever and will have never played pickup basketball.
Well, you were a wrestler, weren't
Never?
you?
Yeah, but like you'd think I could be able to like
No, wrestlers
join
don't
like
play
a,
basketball.
Yeah.
Why would you regret that, Rap?
I'll tell you exactly why. When was it the Super Bowl here? I was here at an event, and somebody was like, "We're going to Butler or something like that. We're going to go play pickup. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "That would be so cool." No.
No chance.
Can't do it.
Smart.
Yeah, can't do it.
Damn. When did you start golfing, though?
When I was 10.
Okay. So
when I was like 10, like when I was Max's age, I was really good, and now I look like someone who used to be good. Okay. But basketball, never.
That's fine.
Yeah, at least you're good at some point.
No.
What news were you about to talk about with McVay?
McVay talked to reporters after practice.
Okay.
Gave an update on Matthew Stafford, and as far as I could tell from the internet, he said things went good.
Okay.
Which, like, I don't really, of all the things he could say, it's just like, it went well.
I mean, he's not going to say if things went bad either.
I mean, he would say, yeah, you're right. That's probably true. I mean, the only thing that matters to me is, like, does he get back out there tomorrow? Is he able to continue? Mm-hmm. And, like, the weird thing is, like, you talk to all these people, you talk to McVay, you talk to all the and they're like, we love Jimmy Garoppolo. We got a lot of confidence in Garoppolo. And, like, the reason Jimmy signed is because they think he can compete, and he goes and he's going to want to be a starter next year. So if he plays, he could sort of reinvent his career, and that would be awesome, and it'd be great, and everyone in the world hopes that does not happen.
My big thing with him is just like week one, if he's out there and he gets blindsided and gets sacked, like, is his back going to be able to hold up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your back when you're that age, like, that's not something that's going to get he's not going to wake up and it's just going to feel better. Like, that is increasingly probably going to feel worse over the course of an NFL season.
Yeah, that's why, like, even him practicing today, like, who cares? What are we talking about? He should go every other day, every third day, damn near.
Or like whatever.
Until next, I guess the day after the last preseason game. Like, it really does not matter. And maybe it's just kind of hitting me now again, but you forget how little this stuff matters for the Staffords of the world. Now, like, for everybody else, is the most important time of their lives. But, like, when you're Matt Stafford and you've been in the league forever and you've already won a Super Bowl, it's like it's August 18th.
But
you need the
You definitely need to throw. Yeah, you need to throw.
You just
he's never
need
played
to
with
let your
Devante.
body get through. Like,
you got to
feel.
I
it
agree.
and,
be
like,
football condition, and it's not only him. It's the guys, the other 10 guys in the huddle.
Yeah.
You get to use, hearing his cadence and the voice and the play calls and the shift, especially in that offense. I mean, outside looking in, it's a lot of moving parts. You saw we had Pook going, and he was, I think, running into one of his linemen or some shit in the backfield. So all of those things definitely matter. And to Ty's point, if you're managing it at this point where, hey, you got to go every other day, like, it's not getting you shorter with an 18-week regular season in the NFL. So we hope, like Harry said, there are no setbacks, and he is, a guy can go out there and be somewhat healthy. We know Matt, if he can walk and throw the ball, he's going to play football. So hopefully, it seems like they're being cautious right now, which is good. To your point, it is August 18th. November 18th, we'll look back on this, and hopefully he's, they're in a good spot because they are a damn good football team right now on paper.
I keep thinking about you guys talking about, like, Stafford, like, he's got to get his, connection with Devante. And, like, this is so – my life is weird, as we discussed with the shower thing and many, many other things. So I broke the Devante to the Rams news. I was extremely happy. Thanks. It was a great moment. I didn't have the picture ready, so I had to just tweet the words and then add the picture later, which I hate. Whatever.
Do it.
So you just post whatever the agent sends you, right?
I cannot comment on who sent me the news. But then you go out to the joint practice, and I have to, like, remind myself, like, oh, Devante.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that. Like, of all the preseason things, it's like, wait, this guy's on this team? And, like,
with McVay?
So, like, chatted with McVay beforehand, and he was like, Devante is, like, he is.
Yeah.
Like,
so good at football.
Yeah. I mean, I think that will be that will be a fun one to keep track of.
All those guys on the Jets, they really do just get an immediate bad rap. Like, it's not even funny, and not that Devante needs to prove himself at all, but I do feel like because of last year, there is this thought that, like, oh, so what? Devante's on the Rams. It's like people do forget how dominant he is when he has a quarterback that can throw it just near him.
Well, and he was a guy who, like, every year was not only, a top 3 receiver in the NFL, like, going to the playoffs. Like, he's been on shitty teams for the last, like, 4 or 5 years of his career. Like that.
Those Raiders clips of him
my God.
in the Netflix show, I was like, feeling for him.
Well, that's why people are talking about like the Rams. Like, oh, the Rams really like Jimmy G. Well, guess who doesn't? Devante. And everyone's going back to those, clips saying stuff like that. But like the Rams, the Vikings fall into the category of Kevin O'Connell's there. So we have faith in them. And it's almost like we forget with the Rams that McVay is also one of those guys just because he's got Stafford.
We didn't even talk about the Vikings today. I feel like I was texting with a Vikings person before the show.
Who?
Source.
Oh, okay.
It was Kevin.
Pelissero doesn't count.
It was Kevin.
Okay.
Because I was actually wondering, has JJ been as good as we've heard? Which is I guess he lit up the Patriots pretty good in their joint practice.
Yeah, day 2, I guess the Pats couldn't get a stop in the second day.
And that was when I started getting texts like, hey, this guy's going to be good. And, it was kind of like, we'll see. He's got a long way to go. But no one's talked about the Vikings at all. All they did was add a starting quarterback and, watch their other starting quarterback get paid by someone else. They could be good.
Got O-line and D-line. They got Jonathan Allen from
really
Washington.
just depends on the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Which is.
I mean, if he plays decent, NFC Championship.
Even if he doesn't play,
That's what
that's
right.
That's what
Dan
Dan
Orlovsky
said.
said.
It's a birthday
If
boy.
he's
that's right.
If he's anywhere between 15 and 18 as far as ranking the quarterback this season.
Yeah, I think that's right.
NFC Championship.
Yeah, I mean some of these highlights are like, I wish we had better film of the joint practices.
Yeah,
I would like.
Because you see more in joint practices.
When we cover them, and they cut off.
Yeah.
They cut off when you can video them. But
And some venues are really hard to there's some practice. I want to say it's either Jets or the Eagles or something like that, where they're sitting under awnings and there's just poles, actual metal poles that you have to film. Yeah, they're not very good.
I mean, the Pats. When the Pats had their first joint practice when we were on break, when Vrabel got all bloodied up, there wasn't one video of that entire thing.
What do you mean? We haven't seen. Have we not seen why he?
We saw the second one.
No, we saw the second one, but the first time it happened, when it was reported Mike Vrabel bloodied up in Patriots joint practice after getting in a scuffle, or scrum, the only thing that came of it was a photo of him walking away with an ice pack or a towel on.
It should not be that.
That's it right there. Yeah, it's interesting though. To your point, you do, because I only saw the day 1 JJ McCarthy clips where against the Patriots where it wasn't great, but then day 2. All I see were reports about how dominant he was. He was 15 and 17 or something, but I didn't see any videos aside from that long screen.
Yeah, see, I don't know that.
I mean, it's just impossible to know.
Yeah.
It's impossible to know. Like I was saying, I was following Colts-Packers joint practices, and it's from all the Packers beat reporters are saying, hey, they're dominating the day.
Right.
And then you go and you look at some of the Colts beat reporters, and it's man, Anthony Richardson and Daniel Dimes have looked unbelievable today. It's okay, so... both these teams are going to be in the Super Bowl, I guess. Here we go.
Yeah, preview.
Yeah.
This is why, I love the preseason, but it is an exercise in frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's I still, even though, I'm so interested, I still feel like I don't know anything. Watch the Giants, and if you are a Giants fan and you watch Jackson Dart.
Looks really good.
He looks really good. And you're why would you not start Jackson Dart? But it's we're not there.
Russ looked good, too.
Yeah, Russ looks
So did Jameis.
So Jameis.
But now the only thing I'm thinking, especially watching these clips, is okay, what teams are just walking out there? Hey, we're not going to show anything. We're just going to play
all of them.
Everybody.
3-4 cover 2. Yeah.
Literally.
Every single one of them.
All of them. You don't want to show any. The only thing preseason is getting out healthy. Obviously, you got to, a percentage of the roster that's trying to make it is very, very important. But
which are even still
that's a tough spot to be in too as a player.
That's so few. That's not that many players that are on the bubble. How many bubble players do you think there are?
Yeah, not many. I would say the teams know. What is it? 52 guys. They know
more or less than 10.
I would say that's around that number.
Yeah.
Probably 7 to 10, depending on the team. And then some coaches and some organizations are different, where there are some places they know who are going to play in what position, and other places where you can literally go out there and really win a job where it's open competition.
They said New England was always
New England was, game week 4 was open competition. You had a bad Wednesday or Thursday, it was a chance that you showed up on Sunday and you weren't dressing that game because somebody else is doing something on special teams and you were the third or fourth corner and we're going to. So that was one of the organizations, but that was very different. That was rare in the National Football League. But I want to ask you, though, you were just talking about texting KOC, and you were a beat reporter, when he was, a young quarterback in New England. How crazy is that for you? How many guys are there now that you covered at that point, and now they're, Dan Morgan in the front office or head coach?
It's weird. I mean, especially for him. Now, first of all, I was hitting golf balls with my dad. I came back from a break in training camp. I was hitting golf balls, and Mike Reese broke the story that Kevin O'Connell was released. These are the things I remember. And I was so annoyed that I missed the scoop on that one because he was like a very important hot name. It's weird. And like the craziest thing is, so like the one that did it for me was I was in Indianapolis at, what was before Prime? What was the name before Prime?
No idea.
Almost?
No. It was
no idea.
Whatever. Whatever.
You had a steakhouse.
With that same steakhouse, whatever it was beforehand. And I had a young quarterback coach come up to me.
Passes?
And I had just, I can't remember.
Ponderosa?
I just, no.
Outback?
I hate you. One time I did I'm not going to.
I'm
not going to tell I'm not going to tell that story. Never mind. I was like, I just started NFL Network, and I had a young quarterback coach come up to me and be like, "Hey, are you Ian?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, I just started out. I'm the quarterbacks coach for the Denver Broncos. My name is Adam Gase." And I was like, "Oh, hey, Adam. Like, I'm Ian Rapoport," and like, that's how I met him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, like he's Peyton Manning's quarterback coach. Like, that's cool. Like, maybe that will be like a thing." And then he ends up being a 2-time coach in the NFL and leads the most prolific offense ever. And I'm like, wow, like, this happens.
People forget.
And so
he did.
I mean,
Or his eyes rolling around his head when he was talking to you then too,
we were both a little.
Okay, so maybe.
Maybe, yeah. But those moments are weird because it's like you go from like, all right, quarterback's coach, and then like, oh, he's kind of picking up. It's like, oh, he's the hot name. And like I remember when Ben Johnson was in Miami, and he was kind of like just a guy. He was a good young coach, and then like, and it's just weird. Like you have to evaluate who these people are all the time.
Yeah, thing about Mike McDaniel. I had no idea who Mike McDaniel was when he got hired. Didn't even know. No, genuinely, if you told me to pick out Mike McDaniel from a from a line, I wouldn't have been able to when he got hired. He was a nobody.
When he got hired?
Yeah, when he got hired, what was he, the run game coordinator of the 49ers? Like, sorry, not a nobody, but typically you're thinking of like OCs and DCs and, coaches who maybe took a year off or something like that. And he was kind of the first like, hey, random run game coordinator is now the head coach. And then, 2 years later, everybody's doing the motions or trying to do the motions that he like basically started. And it's just crazy how fast it happens. And it's also crazy how much like insane knowledge is in the NFL and places that you wouldn't even, guess.
I mean,
Mike Greenberg.
Mike McDaniel was the guy who Kyle Shanahan kept around because he was like his like run game guru essentially, and like he would never go anywhere without him. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but I guess maybe Kyle thinks he's good. He's a head coach.
I just thought that was pretty interesting too. That like he got all the credit for the 49ers run game when you're running. Shanahan's dad was the one who kind of did all that. But hey, by all means, Mike McDaniel's the genius.
You want to crown him?
Yeah, go ahead and crown.
I mean, this is going to be a very interesting year for the Dolphins. Like
For
he is like extremely.
Is he at the top? Is he the number one? Would you say
hot seat?
Yeah.
I mean,
who else is really even on the hot seat?
Giants would be
yes.
Yeah, true.
Bowl.
Yeah. Giants would be sort of there. I don't think the Titans because if Cam Ward is
quarterback,
right?
Pick.
But like the crazy, I mean, in Indy, but I hate this because they haven't played. Like Giants defense could be really good.
Yeah,
Russ, if he plays like the Russ from the first little bit of last year, they are going to be absolutely fine.
I got a question about one.
Okay,
Sean McDermott. Like, how long in your mind? And again, if I'm a Patriots fan at this current moment, it'd be great to be a Bills fan.
Right.
Okay, I understand that. But like, how long do you think it's going to be? Because it's hard to imagine they ever just fall off and win 7 games. Like that's never going to happen with Josh Allen unless he gets hurt and something terrible happens.
Right.
Like when
Or
Josh
even
Allen,
still, like-
even still, yeah. Like they're going to be in it. How many times? How many chances does he have? Like actually.
So this is a great question, and this is one that I think about a lot because it's like it's the same way when you have a player you're like can't win the big one. I'm like that is nonsense. Like sometimes you lose. Like I will never be convinced that Josh Allen can't win the big one. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is great. So like sometimes Mahomes but there's nothing there that like stops him, right? And so like
and he doesn't have like what happens with Shanahan. Like Shanahan, people say this, but the Niners, you see like people get hurt. They've been snake bit in multiple seasons. Like with the Bills, also have been snake. They've been snake bit in some
the defense
senses.
too,
Yeah, but they just
which is
really,
speciality.
Yeah.
That may be. And I'm a Sean McDermott. I think he's a good coach.
I think
he's a pretty good coach. But if I'm thinking from an owner perspective, that will probably be the one thing that will make me have a switch. Like, okay, I got to get an offensive guy.
Yeah.
Who maybe we just got like whatever the case.
Well,
this isn't working. We've had number one defenses. We've had this. We've had that. Maybe I move from an offensive guy. Move on from Sean for an offensive guy just to get that extra whatever out of Josh Allen. But I mean, if you're looking around the league, I think Sean McDermott is still easily in the top, probably 12 of coaches. But when you have an MVP caliber quarterback, an MVP quarterback, you want to win a big one. You got to win it.
Just get
in that sense too. Then like, what about Zach Taylor? Like because it's like, hey, how long are we like? That's awesome. You're an offensive guy, and a lot of people say that Burrow should have won MVP last year, but like you got to make the playoffs. You can't survive on hey we went to the Super Bowl forever, and like they've kind of put. I mean they need to win offensively, but like if they start 0-3 again, or whatever the case, like how much time does he have left?
Yeah, I mean Joe Burrow's so good. And I think the offense is going to be so good. And they made a change of defensive coordinator that was debated, like hotly debated. Like Lou Anarumo is a very good defensive coordinator. They chose they wanted to go in a different direction. I think that surprised some people, including me. If they start and they've done everything to start fast, playing guys in the preseason. Like they're doing so. If it doesn't work, the Bengals have traditionally been very patient. So I think they'll be okay, but I see what you're saying because at some point it's like, all right, like you got Joe Burrow. Now, Zach Taylor helped make Joe Burrow eat, but the Bills thing is also interesting, right? Like, because I was thinking about what you said, D, but like Sean McDermott, I do not believe is in any trouble, okay? Let's just state, I do not believe he is in trouble at all, nor should he be. However, Joe Brady is their offensive coordinator. Joe Brady is going to be a hot head coach candidate this year. At some point, they may lose him. So this is the teams have faced this decision before. The Bucks did it, and they ended up with Dirk Cutter, which didn't work out. So it's like that's the only thing where I'm like, Joe Brady's going to leave if it's some sort of disappointing season, which I do not expect. What happens?
Bucks gonna have to deal with that this year again. They just, losing Liam. He had a great, a Baker Mayfield's best year.
Yes.
Then you lose. That's always the thing you're dealing with. Like Patrick Mahomes, you're never going to deal with that until Andy Reid decides to retire. Sean McVay Stafford. Jalen Hurts has been successful with a bunch of different offensive coordinators.
New one this year.
Yeah. Sirianni has some input on the offense. So that's always for me a Lamar Jackson's he's won MVPs with multiple coordinators. So you do have quarterbacks who can play with any coordinators, but a lot of times it comes down to 2-minute drives, getting a field goal or a touchdown, and having that quarterback play caller been on that same. We always see all the behind the scenes with Mahomes and Andy Reid. Hey, let's call this play. Let's go to this one. So, I mean, it is important, but, I think Sean's a great coach. I think they have good pieces in place. They built the teams. They've been in it at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It just comes down to a handful of plays, and that always makes a difference. But, we have – Michael Jordan in the league right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to get one.
Well, he's also a legitimate head coach, and I feel like that is like that was my biggest thing. I mean, you talk about Zach Taylor, like that was my biggest thing with LaFleur before they got Halfley. It's like, hey, I understand you're an unbelievable offensive mind. Like you're not the OC, you're the head coach. So like what the defense does is also on your plate. You can't just be like, well, my offense is unbelievable, my defense has been horseshit for the last. It's like it doesn't work like that when you're the head coach.
Halfley was a good hire.
Unbelievable.
That was
a great hire.
I did not expect that, and I was sort of like, but he's been really good.
But that's the thing, like with the Bengals too. I mean, and you kind of threw in there, and me and Ty chimed in a little bit. Like, Zach Taylor didn't fucking make Joe Burrow, first of all. But Joe Burrow won the Heisman.
This is the same argument I have with Belichick and Brady.
Sixth touchdowns.
Yeah, well,
this year.
again, that's my point exactly. Belichick and Brady, Baker and Bowles. Like, there's a thing where if you have a quarterback that is like a Joe Burrow, you don't need some fucking guru. You really just need a guy that is going to do what Joe Burrow says. And also, to be fair, when you are a team, and you have a quarterback and 2 number ones, which Tampa, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Bengals, same exact thing. It's like, hey, offense as far as coaching goes, I know it's very important. But when you have an MVP guy at wide receiver and quarterback, like, does it really fucking matter what play is coming through the wire? Even with the like right now when we're talking about Josh Allen and we're saying Sean McDermott, he's a defensive guy. Do we hang on to Joe Brady just in case? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me because Josh Allen has had success before and after Joe Brady. I know he didn't win an MVP, but typically when we were talking about Josh Allen, it was more so like, hey, why the fuck is he throwing it across the field 60 yards down the field versus like, man, this play cost.
I mean, part of that's on coaching though, because the usually the power dynamic in the organization, like that quarterback, once you're a franchise quarterback, like you're unless you have an Andy Reid or Bill Belichick or that type of coach, but you also have to have a coach. And I was speaking to Joe Burrow, seeing more of him on quarterback and even like his personality. Like,
I love
he's
that so much.
He's going to be a lead by example guy, but like Brady, Manning, Breeze, like they'll get after guys. Like they'll set the tone of the game that week. Off defense could be on the field and you're still hearing Brady talking shit as far as execution, things like that. Not to say that Joe Burrow's any less of a quarterback. That's just his different personality. So that's when you need that head coach or that whoever to kind of because we always talk about teams take on the identity of a head coach. Mm-hmm. It's what people say you see in Miami. And then what you see in Detroit with Dan Campbell, nobody would look at Dan Campbell and say, oh, he's a genius, but you know how his team is going to come out and compete week in and week out. So the talent, everybody's going to be talented. And obviously when you're talking about Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, those guys on a different level talent-wise. But the coaching still matters, like game planning, like the tempo of the play calls, changing up tempos, got to have it plays. Like Josh Allen, he's a great player. Ken Dorsey got fired.
That seems
that
like
never
a million
happened.
years ago.
I mean, you mentioned it, like Lamar changed completely when Todd Monken got there.
Yeah, and he needed that.
Yeah.
It was time for him to, and he was an MVP quarterback with Greg Roman, but it was time for him to evolution of his game. And Steve Young came out years ago and was like, you need that. Like, he's going to need someone to put him in a sophisticated pass game to expand his offense. We saw him do it in college. It wasn't like a guy who ran triple option in college. Like, he slung the ball with Petrino at Louisville. So you definitely need that. These guys are supremely, uber talented, but you still need coaches to kind of set the tone throughout the week, throughout the game, throughout the season. And when you're a head coach, obviously that goes beyond, just one side of the ball.
When would you say, like, Brady, Manning, and Breeze, and you might not know shit, but like, when would you say that does settle in, though, where it's like, okay, like this, like, do you think Burrow and Allen and Lamar and Mahomes are at the point now when, like, Brady and Breeze and Manning finally became like the, hey, this is my fucking shit, I'm going to say what we're doing?
Pat's already there.
Yeah, but Andy runs such a tight ship. It's a lot that Pat, I would say, just from the outside looking in, and we see so much more now too than we saw, back in the day. I'm sure it's things that Pat doesn't necessarily have to do, but once Pat speaks, everybody's gonna follow. That's the general. But I don't know. And all these quarterbacks, that like their personalities are so different. Like Aaron Rodgers, he completely different personality than Phillip Rivers. Like, these guys are good quarterbacks, but personality is a big part. It's just like any workplace, like the CEOs or those people in position, like people are gonna kind of follow that guy in the battle. And that's what it is on Sundays. But so Lamar, Josh, Joe, all these guys are the unquestioned leaders of their team. But we see Lamar. You see how he leads, or like he leads in his very unique way. And I've seen him get after guys more. He gets that, but that's not the only thing I'm looking for. You can tell he's working his ass off Monday through Saturday because that's the only way you can talk to grown men a certain way and check them if you're showing up and you're being accountable, day to day too.
Well, and Pat tells the story. He has a couple times about Peyton, where it's like when he came in with the Colts, like he interviewed them. They didn't interview, which I feel like is very rare. So it's almost like he came in and he was like, "Hey, if you pick me, like this is my fucking show right away." So like, let's not get this crossed at all. And it, obviously, like he's one-on-one. There aren't a whole lot of guys like that. Brady obviously wasn't afforded that opportunity, not being the first pick. But
Burrow was.
Yeah, but you obviously talking about quarterback, like you just personality-wise. Yeah, Joe Burrow is not Peyton Manning. He's much different.
Well, and that's like the change of the time too, because I'm assuming they were having the same conversation about Peyton Manning before he won the Super Bowl that we're having about Josh Allen. It took Peyton Manning 9, 10.
Yeah, it took a long time.
10 years just to win a Super Bowl. So it's not like
crazy.
It's not as if these guys are never going to win or one Super Bowl will be enough. But it's one of those situations where every year, but if it's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Lamar, there is a chance that two of those guys just never end up with one because of how good Mahomes is. It's crazy.
So much shit around him got to go right, too.
Yeah.
That's kind of
it has to be lightning has to strike.
Yeah, it's you look
good defense.
You look at Mahomes, great defense, great special teams, great ownership. What's going on in Buffalo? I think they have a really good ownership. Philadelphia, good ownership, good front office. So you're going to be Baltimore. They've always been great in the front office, ownership-wise. So, the talent and the quarterback is a big part of it, but all the other shit that goes into it, because we can look at almost any playoff run. Rarely do you just see an offense just blow like an Ohio State in the college football playoffs. Some point in time, a defense is going to have to win a game, a 17-13 game, and then the offense gets hot or something like that. Joe Flacco, when he went on his run, Joe Flacco got hot and played out his mind. Just turned the ball over with a good defense. So a lot of shit got to go right in football. It's not like basketball where it's like, all right, we got Braun, we got Wade, we got Bosch. We're going to be in the finals every year. Like all that other shit organizationally it has to, be right and in place. So that's the other thing to look at when you look at these, quarterbacks that are in a position to compete.
That's why this is the best.
Oh yeah,
Bingo. For 20 years. 20 years it was.
We almost here.
It was Brady, Manning, and Big Ben, and then Joe had that one run. Like the Ravens. Like if you're one of those teams, you have to everything has to line up perfect.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You guys are the best. I appreciate you very much.
Great job. You're much better today.
Yeah, well done, Rap.
Maybe it was Max
much more comfortable.
Might be Max been here.
Yeah, Max.
Don't want to embarrass yourself in front of your boy.
Sweet
Who
boy.
paid very, very close attention.
Of course.
But was so excited to be here and just walk around and play with all of the things. You guys are awesome. No comments on whether or not I will be back at some point in the near future.
Okay.
You guys enjoy whoever you have over the next couple weeks. And that's all we have from the Pat McAfee Show. I'm going to say goodbye.
So you could do like a team on three thing.
Yeah, team on me, team on three.
Are you guys punking me again?
No. We actually just
You don't watch the program?
Every day.
I watch until the end of the YouTube, obviously. I say what? 1, 2, 3
You
team?
clearly don't. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Team.
You're a quarterback.
Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.